Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thanks so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Guys, give me 1 minute. Well, 1 second, really. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. Sorry about that. Guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Again, like, share, subscribe. Also, got a couple of announcements before we get started. Announcement number 1, we are rolling to Cape. Actually, we go to Sierra Leone in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, we are heading to Sierra Leone. Looking forward to that. Cannot wait for our awesome trip to Sierra Leone. We leave on the 20th. We leave in 12 days. We are leaving in 12 days. Frank Zanu, he's from where's Frank Zanu from? Ivory Coast? No. Where is he from? Hey, where is he from? Is it Ivory Coast or Cameroon? Where's Frank Zanu from? But I agree. I would say this about Frank Zanu. I don't. So let me make myself clear. Benin. There we go. Benin. I do not agree with everything anyone says, but I'm not petty, because some people are so petty where they will whatchamacallit, just because they disagree with you on one thing, they want to cancel you. See, I'm not petty like that. So I do not agree with everything that Frank Zanu says, but I agree with a lot of what he says. A lot of what he says is on point. A lot of what Frank Zanu says is on point. So again, I don't agree with everything Frank Zanu says, but I agree with a lot of what he says. Not everything, but I agree with a lot of what Frank Zanu says. We need Frank Zanus. You know, as they say, steel sharpens steel, or iron sharpens iron. Is that the saying? So we need people like Frank Xander to come on and challenge people. I mean, it's just it's what it is. So I like Frank Xander. You know, in fact, I will love Frank. I'm gonna reach out to Frank Xander. I'll love to have him on the platform. I love to have host Frank Xander on In Search of a Huru. I would love to. I would love to. But guys, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you share. Also, make sure you subscribe. We're going to Sierra Leone in a couple of weeks, and then we're also going to Cape Town. Right. So we're gonna hit up Cape Town March 25th through wrong site. March 25th through April 2nd, March 25th through April 2nd. We're going to Cape Town for the Jazz Festival. And, you know, we're going to go hiking. So, like, this is Lionheads Mountain. I hiked it last time I was there a couple weeks ago. When I was in Cape Town, I went up and down the mountain. So we're going to do some exploring, some hiking. We're going to do the Jazz Festival in Cape Town. And then we're also going to go to the most southern point of Africa. We're going to visit that as well. So we're going to have a great time in Cape Town. So if you're interested in joining us in Cape Town, please visit Danfo.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo.Africa. That's DANFO.Africa. Again, that's DANFO.Africa to learn more. Again, Cape Town for the Jazz Festival. That's March 25th to April 2nd. Then we're going to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That's May 9th to the 18th. Then Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That's August 9th to the 18th. Then we're rolling to, where else are we going? Then we're rolling to Zanzibar in September. And then we're doing Ghana and Ivory Coast in that's going to be in November. So visit Danfo.Africa to learn where we're all the locations and all the stops that we are making. Without further ado, let's jump into tonight's topic. So when this whole coup, attempted coup went down yesterday, you know, I woke up yesterday morning, checked my notifications, and there was a coup. They were like a military coup in Benin Republic. And then a friend of mine texted me and said, yeah, Nigeria, they bombed them. And I said, what? I said, no. And I was like, well, you know, I was under the impression Nigeria sent surveillance planes over Benin Republic just to see what's going on. But he was like, nah, Nigeria bombed with the help of France certain strategic locations in Benin to stop the coup plotters. And I was like, no way. But it ended up being true. And I'm just thinking to myself, the how quickly Nigeria responded to this attempted coup. What's going on in northern Nigeria? You have people being kidnapped by the dozens in one WAP. You literally have terrorist groups, Boko Haram, and then I forgot the name of the other one. Who were like just occupied. Literally, they had a shootout in Lake Chad over an island in territory in Lake Chad. So if we can send special forces into Benin Republic, a sovereign country, and bomb a sovereign country, why can't we get things ISWAP? There we go, ISWAP. Why can't we do the same thing in northern Nigeria? Why can't we get things under control in northern Nigeria? Like I heard Nigeria sent their special forces on the ground in Benin Republic. They had their Air Force. And then another question is, you brought up ECOWAS. Why doesn't ECOWAS have a special envoy in northern Nigeria? Why hasn't ECOWAS sent troops and put boots on? Because the argument is, from what I've been hearing, is that the Nigerian military and the police department and the police and security forces in general in Nigeria, they're outgunned by the terrorists. They're in the Nigerian security forces just understaffed, undermanned. So why can't they send ECOWAS troops? You're right. Benin did request the intervention, but what I'm saying is, why can't they send ECOWAS troops to northern Nigeria? But what happened in, okay, so Benin requested for the intervention, sir. So what happened in Guinea Conakry? What happened in AES, Mali, Burkina Faso, in Niger? Where was ECOWAS? That's what I'm saying. The whole Benin requested for intervention, that's not adding up. That's not adding up at all. Because we've seen countless examples of coups in ECOWAS countries and ECOWAS not get involved. But what makes Benin so special? Especially where Nigeria is sending jets. To go into Benin. But all I'm saying right now, the focus should be those bandits in northern Nigeria. That's all I'm saying. Let me play this clip from TV. But that's the point I'm making. Because they did it. They were in Benin fast.
Africa is once again confronted with a familiar and unsettling reality. Another attempted coup, this time in the Republic of Benin. At dawn on Sunday, soldiers led by one Colonel Pascal Tigre stormed national TV, announced the suspension of all democratic institutions, and declared President Patrice Talon ousted. But for the first time in years, the script changed, and swiftly we saw Nigeria's armed forces acting under President Tinubu's orders and in line with ECOWAS protocols, crossed into Benin's airspace and territory, flushing out the coup plotters and restoring constitutional order within hours. Tonight, we're asking some critical questions. Why are coups resurging? Why mostly in French-speaking West Africa? And what does Nigeria's decisive intervention this time signal for ECOWAS' future? I'm joined by security expert Dixon Osagie on the program. Mr. Osagie, that this was one of the fastest coup reversals we've seen in West Africa in decades. From a security standpoint,
that's my point. This is the fastest coup reversal that we've ever seen. Where all hands, all of a sudden, we're on deck. Somebody in the chat room said, "Well, in the other coups, I guess whoever the president was in power didn't request ECOWAS to come in." Come on, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. Come on. Like most of men say, Macron put in that call to Tinubu. That's a fact. And when Macron put in that, Macron, whatever his name is, when you put in that call to Tinubu, all of a sudden guns were blazing quickly.
Point. What does Nigeria's rapid deployment of fighter jets and ground forces tell us about Abuja's new posture toward regional stability?
Fantastic, Nathan. I'm even surprised that we have an effective response mechanism in place to respond to the coup plotters in Benin Republic. I'm still in shock that we have the capability and ability to respond this fast. But I think I want to congratulate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I was shocked too. I was shocked too. They were in Benin quick. They had boots on the ground quick. I was shocked too.
President Bola Tinubu for the swift response and also for giving the Nigerian military a marching order to intervene in Benin Republic. I think that has brought a form of, a lovely, beautiful names to the Nigerian people and to the Nigerian country as a whole, because democracy has come to stay in Nigeria and also in other parts of Africa. If you check, Benin Republic is about some few kilometers away from Lagos and also from Nigeria. And if anything happens or goes wrong in Benin Republic, I think Nigeria will be at risk. But for the Nigerian government to respond in speed and momentum to ensure that Lieutenant Colonel Patrice, Lieutenant Colonel Tigris is being hosted, I think it's a welcome development, and it's also an avenue to communicate to our military officers that the constitution of each country should be protected instead of looking at the path of overthrowing any constitutional order. But I think this is a good one, and ECOWAS has done a great job. The first time in history, I've seen in my own eyes that they were able to respond to restore the president of Benin Republic back to office.
Mr. Sage, trust Nigerians to talk. I've seen tweets like Nigeria went gun a-blazing, and then questions like how come we haven't seen that kind of intervention back at home with terrorists and bandits?
My point. There we go. I'm not the only one. Where's this guns blazing energy for the terrorists and bandits? Somebody made an excuse up yesterday or earlier today saying that, well, the terrorists and the bandits, they integrate with the locals and they can't. And I'm like, come on, stop with the excuses.
How do you think both concepts connect? Do you think it's a fair assessment of our military infrastructure?
For me, I don't think it's a fair assessment because I see it as, regime protection. It simply implies that we have more respect for regime protection than for terrorism and counter-terrorism. Because if you can respond this fast, around 350 girls, they are still missing. I think from the news I heard today, about 100 has been released. We should apply soft methodology.
We're left with just 153 in Niger.
Yes. So yes. Exactly. And I think we should apply such response measures in any given incident in Nigeria, not all about maybe just a coup d'etat and everybody's responding. No, let's also see the protection of life and property as a component in which our military and our policing system can respond. Because when it comes to response mechanism, we have the preventive measures, we have the proactive measures, and we have the reactive measures. Here, the coup d'etat actually took place, but I think those guys were not 100% successful. But the reactive measures from ECOWAS and from the Nigerian military is so amazing. I'm even in shock as we speak to now. So, the Nigerian military, such measures should be applied in protection of our national territories and also ensuring that our people move around without being intimidated by these criminal elements. The Nigerian military has proved again and again that they have the capability and capacity to go after any criminal element, because the act of those soldiers in Benin Republic is an act of crime. It's a criminal act, to say. So they went after those criminals and they will set those criminals out. Let's turn back to our country, Nigeria, and also apply such response measures in the area of crime prevention and also in the area of, curtailing with crime in progress and also flushing out these terrorists and criminal elements bedeviling the territorial space of Nigeria. The Nigerian military has, confirmed to the international community and to the world that they have the capability to respond. So let's carry on this response mechanism and ensure is being applied in any given situation, not just for a case of maybe restoring constitutional order or restoring democracy.
Well, it sounds like
all aspects of life. Yeah.
Yes, it sounds like capacity is not the challenge. That has to do with the willpower. Now that we have a minister of defense who has just been chief of defense staff, we're seeing we're really looking forward to see how that changes dramatically. But ECOWAS has been criticized, as you're aware, for being slow, being inconsistent, or even politically selective. Do you think this swift response, as we've seen in Benin, restore some kind of confidence in the ability of the regional bloc to defend democracy, or is it one-off because of their proximity to Nigeria?
I used to feel like I was playing cat and mouse with my clients, always chasing them for payments, but now I get paid with.
I don't think it's because of the proximity to Nigeria. I think the president of Nigeria, President Bola, played a very big role, because if he had not given the Nigerian military that marching order, I don't think this would have been successful. I don't think I think by now the president of the Republic would have been to his home, his way home. But I think it's not about inability to respond, but I think sometimes we lack the political will. Now, what ECOWAS has done has rebuilt confidence of the African people, and also I tell you, more countries that have not been registered in ECOWAS will want to come into ECOWAS, because when you have a regional bloc like ECOWAS, you should have some form of surety and security. And what they have done now is that they've granted security to the people of Benin Republic, that being a member of ECOWAS, this is part of the benefit. And ECOWAS have once again comes to the limelight and also introduced this methodology to the world that, hey, any country that is being overpowered by military power, group of countries can respond and also root out those military power. And I see that's a welcome development, Nifemi. Let's see, let's move on with democracy in our given environment, and also ensure, while we democratize our people and our country or other parts of the continent, while we practice democracy, we must allow leadership to prevail. Good leadership should prevail. Accountability should prevail, and also the will of the people should also prevail. If we have all this in place, and I tell you that democracy is going to be a very beautiful thing, because I tell you, as we speak, a lot of people are complaining about democracy. I've seen on various block people calling for military takeover, which is wrong. The military takeover will never be and can never be upheld to Nigeria. Democracy is the way to go, but let's have good leaders that will lead our country aright and ensure that we all enjoy the terminology called democracy, and the people will be happy that they are being governed from the east, west, and north with the care of God.
Quickly, Mr. Osage, in a minute, if you can, looking ahead, does this intervention deter potential coup plotters in the region? Or does it, because the other option is that it also risks pulling Nigeria into deeper regional security entanglements, especially with juntas now forming alliances against ECOWAS?
Well, I don't think it's going to put us in a state of net. If you want to go that route, what I actually believe is that it's all about unity of purpose. We have a lot of countries that are members of ECOWAS. So if you have these countries come on board to respond to any coup d'etat within the African region, because if there's a coup in any given country within the African region, it's a threat to the next neighboring state as well, country as well. It's a threat to the next neighboring country. So let's try and see how we flush out this coup d'etat, this guys on uniform that wants to rule by.
Somebody asked, what's the purpose of the coup d'etat? They're having elections. So the current president, pretty much the whatever party the current president, Talon, whatever party he's a member of, in Benin, he pretty much handpicked a successor. So it's going to be Talon for the most part, still ruling indirectly. So that's the problem. And also too, the coup plotters, they gave a list of demands or reasons on why they attempted the coup. So, but you guys know I go to Benin like once or twice a year. It's always been a pretty stable country. Now you do have some issues in the north. I think they're bordered by Burkina Faso or Niger in the north. I think it's Burkina Faso or maybe even both. At the north. But Benin is pretty much it's pretty much a stable country. It's quiet. Like it's completely night and day from Nigeria. because I mean, you guys know I travel between Benin and Nigeria by road, either through Semi border, which brings you to Badagry, or I'll go by Porto Novo, which brings you into Ogun State. Like I travel by road like twice a year from Benin Republic in Nigeria, and it's night and day. And Benin is quiet, so that's why this was kind of a shock to me. But Wilfred, or Fran Wilford, if he's watching this, he has predicted every single coup that's gonna take place in West Africa, and he said Benin, and he's saying Togo is next. But yeah, but what happens, you know, a lot of times is the current leader, they handpick their successor. So yeah. But guys, links in the chat room, if you want to call in, add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in, add to the conversation. But I mean, ECOWAS needs to go to northern Nigeria. ECOWAS needs to go into northern Nigeria. If you ask me, you got a point. I only hear people. In fact, you know what, Kevin? I hear more people talking about Daddy December than they are what's going on in the north now. So you do have a point. You do have a point there. I agree. You know, people, you know, they move on quickly. But guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. But my friend texted me yesterday morning and told me that Nigeria has boots on the ground and is bombing Benin to stop the coup plotters. I didn't believe him. I said, you're lying. I said, no way. He was like, yes way. Then the information came out, because then I read that they had put planes in the air and flew into Benin's airspace. So I was thinking, okay, they probably just have surveillance planes. But no, when he said that they were dropping bombs, and it was confirmed that they had targeted the coup plotters' headquarters, I was like, wow, okay, they did that for real. But then the question becomes, why aren't they acting this decisive and quickly in the north? When as you hear what the guy said, over 300 people, girls were kidnapped, and only 153 have been returned. As if they don't know where the girls are at.
With powers, and also ensure that we respond with speed and momentum to make West Africa, a better place in order for us to practice effective and beautiful democracy system of governance.
Security expert Dixon Osage, thank you so much for talking to us on the program this evening.
Yes, congratulations to Nigeria. Great response.
Thank you for joining us.
And not only that, they had an initiative, Nigeria did, where if you were a repentant terrorist, you could reintegrate into the Nigerian military. I'm not making this up. If you were a repentant militant terrorist, you were allowed to reintegrate into the Nigerian military. So just some stuff doesn't. I love Nigeria, absolutely love Nigeria, but some stuff just doesn't. Some stuff that doesn't add up. Oh yeah, Nigerian military is definitely infiltrated, because we saw that with the. That's a lie. The guy who made the comment was saying, "No, I read an article the other day. Hold on, let me pull this article up. Hold on. Here we go. The Nigerian military primarily reintegrates former Boko Haram fighters through Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Safe Corridor, a major initiative to rehabilitate surrendered Boko Haram ISWAP members. And from my understanding, they were allowed to join the military. This is crazy. This is crazy. Go ahead, Tunaja.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Diners.
Now, Tunaja, am I right about the reintegration with the Boko Haram into the supposedly not the military? But I swore I read an article the other day where there was a guy who was in the military who was a former Boko Haram ISWAP member. I know I gotta find it. Am I wrong, Tunaja?
Yeah, I think the military doesn't recruit former Boko Haram members officially. They don't, and there's no evidence that they've recruited one. However, there is a rumor going around about people saying such things, and I find that very disturbing because you can't imagine soldiers that have lost people, friends, colleagues, and comrades to Boko Haram fighters, and then you have them recruited into the military. The military will mutiny immediately. And people don't think far when they say these things. And in a way, it's a kind of psyop where people just spread lies everywhere. What they do is the repentant Boko Haram members that come out from the forest, whatever they're hiding, come into the city, they will rehabilitate them and have them. Some of them actually join state security operators. So,
okay, so it's not the Nigerian military, it's state security.
No, not the Nigerian military. No, not at all. And then some of the situation they use them for, sometimes they can use them for intelligence gathering. You know how informants work with intelligence agencies and secret, military and stuff like that. So they use them for that purpose. But to say they recruit them into the military is false. The military, Nigerian military has spoke on it multiple times. Can you imagine if the Nigerian military says we've never recruited a Boko Haram member, then somebody goes and brings them out the next day? It will be very, very embarrassing for that security officer, because this is life and death situation we're talking about here, and we are talking about soldiers here. So, and I don't think that is true. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to a Nigerian recently, and the Nigerians made that same comment. I said, "Why do you spread these lies? It's really horrible. You are just trying to demoralize people so that when the Nigerian government wants to recruit into the security forces, they'll say the security force is full of Boko Haram members." So, in other words, the only solution we have to the problem, you are telling us not that they are recruiting Boko Haram into those into the military. For me, that is just misinformation going on there. Fake news, according to Trump. That's what Trump calls it. So, in terms of the coup in the Benin Republic, as you can see, our military, our leaders, they are not governing for us. What they are basically doing is governing for the people that they serve. And this is why you see how rapidly President Tinubu intervened in the Benin Republic to remove the coup. This is not the first time Nigeria has done this. We've done it in Sierra Leone. I think we've also done it in this in Guinea.
Like we have boots on the ground in Liberia as well, Ecomoc and Sierra Leone during the Civil Wars.
Yeah, we do that quite a lot. We intervene. And funny enough, the only thing Nigeria military can also seem to do is sign a defense pact with their fellow West African countries. You see how weird they are? They are capable of intervening militarily to protect foreign interests, but when it comes to defending their own people, they don't do that. The Sahel nations are the only African group that's formed a military alliance, while West Africa hasn't. They all know the right thing to do. Our presidents know that our military is undermined. Our security forces are nowhere to be seen, but they pretend as if they don't know, because clearly when Trump threatened Nigeria, this is one of the things I like about Trump, because the guy doesn't care about sophisticated, making nations underdeveloped. He just cares about getting all of them out of this country, like the way he was lambasting the Somalis recently. He just wants them out of his country, out of his sight. Whatever you do in your country is your business, as long as you're not attacking America. So what he's doing is that he's forced the Nigerian government to change their posture a little bit. Because of the Nigerian government wants to recruit 50,000 into the Nigerian police, wants to recruit 20,000 into the military, which is not enough. But that's the first time for a very long time that our Nigerian military has tried to increase the numbers. It tells you that there is something suppressing them. Why they are not trying to defend us. That's why our country is not secure. Diners, can you believe that people are telling Nigerian military where it is 1 soldier to 1,000 civilians that they can be able to defeat Boko Haram? When we know 2013 here, there was a terrorist attack in Israel. Israel went to that terrorist territory. The terrorists have been fenced round completely. The terrorists cannot escape. They bombed the terrorists with equivalent of 6 Hiroshima-sized explosives for 2 years, and the terrorists is still standing. And then somehow you think your Nigerian soldiers, without technology, without anything, can be able to defeat the terrorist groups that even America confessed that they are funding. Come on, man. The whole thing is a mess in Africa right now. I don't even know where to start from. The chaos that you see in that environment. That's why you're seeing coups left and right, and people just spew out fake news. Nobody is holding on to facts anymore. It's very, very depressing. Some of the stuff I see. Even these coup plotters, they look ragtag. They were not even like very, very serious people from what I gather. They went into the radio station and
yes.
they seem to have gathered themselves in one place. How can you plan a big coup? I didn't even take the president that you're supposed to looking to dethrone. The president is free, and you know you are next door to Nigeria. Nigeria is just going to come and intervene. Because the Nigerian, do you know Nigerian leaders, they truly believe in democracy, you know. This is not a joke. They truly believe that is the way to go. That is the thing. So they would intervene. They don't, I'm not even sure they even need the Macron to even encourage them. They really believe. I saw the former president Jonathan, Goodluck Jonathan, when he returned from Guinea-Bissau, the statement he made, if you had him, you can see that guy has conviction. He believes the democracy is a good thing and they have to maintain it. And that's why they are doing what they are doing.
So that's a good question. Why didn't ECOWAS go into Guinea-Bissau?
It's funny, isn't it? Because what happens is, that's a very good question, actually. Because that Guinea-Bissau, they know it was a fake coup. But the coup put a military officer in office that represent a continuation of the current paradigm. In other words, the former president, his time was up. The opposition leader probably won the election, but to carry on with the former president's agenda, the former president just hand over to the military that he already knows. So in other words, it's the same government that is in office, the same kind of regime that is in office. Maybe that's why you don't see the French and others who condemning the Guinea-Bissau coup as much, or Nigeria not even intervening. Because the person that won is the person that they actually did coup against. When the Nigerian Goodluck Jonathan came back and said there's no coup, it's fake. No, there is coup because somebody won the election and they didn't hand over to him. That is the coup. This is the name of the game. When the person that wins the coup is for the West and Western interest is okay. But if it's not, they'll look for it to remove that regime in West Africa, apart from the Sahel nation that they couldn't do.
Let me pass the mic to Awale. Go ahead, Awale. Unmute yourself, Awale.
Okay. Good evening. Greetings here. My opinion, I think the Nigerian government did the right thing to stop that coup for some reason, not because anyone called. Why? If those guys were allowed to be in power, there would be a counter coup, and that was going to destabilize Benin. And this is a country that's our neighbor and is close to one of our capital hubs of our economy. Now, Benin is facing their own version of ISWAP and Boko Haram
in the north. The north.
Yes. So, and some months back, we saw how they dislodged the Beninese military and took several weapons and used some weapons to attack northern Nigeria. So the government did the right thing to stabilize the government and deter others. But we didn't see that happen in Guinea-Bissau. They are very far from our place. It's not economically viable for us to do so. But Benin Republic is very economically viable because that was going to destroy a lot of things for us.
Okay. Understood. But to Niger, and guys, again, let me allegedly, I forgot to put the word allegedly. You have some bandits who got their way, snuck into the Nigerian military. Allegedly, that's what we heard. but they still have this reintegration program to Niger for for Boko Haram. This is crazy.
What are you going to do?
That was debunked. That was debunked.
No, not into the actual military, but it's Operation Safe Corridor.
No, let me pull you through because that's one of my area of specialty. Those guys were not integrated back into the security. No, they put them where they undergo a rehabilitation program, and when they are done, they return them back to where they picked their villages. For them, they put the Secret Service, DSS, to keep watch on those guys. Then those guys, JTF, civilian joint task force, are those victims of those communities. Those people attacked and destroyed that joined the military. They know the routes, they know the terrain. Because why it's very difficult for the military to win is because we are fighting asymmetric warfare. If fighting asymmetric warfare, you don't know who is who. If civilian might be working, and next thing you start attacking people because he's armed. So it's very difficult to win that kind of war.
Okay, but let me ask you this: so the way the Nigerian military was to quickly respond to this Benin coup, you had this Nigerian general that was just killed a couple weeks ago. And his coordinates and everything were found out. He was killed by ISWAP or Boko Haram. Like that's what I'm saying. Some of the stuff just doesn't make sense or adds up.
I think the issue is I had this experience where somebody that I did some work with in Nigeria joined the military. He's not a soldier. He just went to do some work with them as like a consultant. And they go from military base, go for patrol, they return back. Then one day when they went out, they were ambushed and they all scattered. You see, that's the thing the Nigerian military does. Because they don't have the firepower to fight the bandits, they will scatter into the bush and at night running in every direction. So some of them will radio back that they've escaped and everything. But by the time the people come back the next morning to come and try to find them, they're all dead because the bandits, they know what they're doing. They will scatter them and then they'll go hunting them one by one and killing them. But in Nigeria, because I know about this, because I know somebody that died like that, I can understand the scenario that happened to that general. But the Nigerian people, they carried, oh no, somebody betrayed him. They radioed his location to him. Jesus Christ, how can they do that? This is why sometimes there's a lot of misinformation going on out there, and I can't even back all of them away because there are so many. They will say they recruit Boko Haram into the military. They will say the soldiers were betrayed. No, because you don't know what is going on the ground. That's why it's happening. If I hadn't had that experience, maybe I would have believed the story too. I know of this person, the circumstances at which he died. He wasn't a military person, he was just a technical person that they were using. And they ambushed them on their way back from wherever they went to. And then this is the result. The next morning they went there and he's dead. Young man, they buried him just 2 years ago. The same scenario. So the problem with our military is that, and the reason why maybe it's easier to deal with a coup plotter versus bandits, because the coup plotters, they have an address, and they need to have an address to be able to rule.
They have an address.
Exactly. But bandits don't have an address. They can run into the bushes, hide anywhere. This is the problem. That's the problem with Hamas. Hamas, they even know where Hamas was.
This military general was alive. He was texting. He was messaging back and forth, and like, and the I guess whoever he was speaking with said the helicopters on the way.
That's exactly. See what you are describing now. This
is a general. This is a high-ranking general.
High-ranking general. Bullets don't feel sorry for anybody. In Nigeria, I've warned them before. You can't have one man expect to defend 1,000 citizens and you expect to be secure in that country. It's not going to be secure. America is not like that. America has the best weapons in the world. America is one soldier to 150. And we have 250, almost 250 million population there. They refuse to recruit to the military. Why would they recruit when there is this misinformation everywhere saying the military is recruiting Boko Haram? This is the kind of scenario you face. And our military too, they are not even very, very helpful because they themselves, they brutalize the civilians so much that when the people hear about military, it's often bad news. They see them as bad news. When in reality, they are actually the solution. You have to take over the ground from the terrorists. They are not exactly very sophisticated.
I mean, Tunaj, also too, like with some of these kidnappings, like I was reading like a couple of weeks, they returned some of the kids or that were people that were kidnapped, but there were no arrests made.
That again, this is the problem, because how can bandits hand children over to you? They say they threaten them. I don't buy that. They pay them. That is how they got them back, because the embarrassment was too much. That's my thinking of that. I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing. This is allegedly with serious this is a pinch of salt. So I don't know for sure, but it appears to be that way, because nobody was arrested, and they say you threaten the bandits and they release. Why would the bandits back them just because you threatened them? They will just move the children or even escape if they need to escape, and take the ones that they can take away with them. And they marry these children, so the children are valuable to them. So they will not just release them for free. So for me, in my own opinion, I just think that somehow they paid them and the bandits released the children because it was embarrassing the government very, very seriously. And then this is our people, isn't it? Our people always wait for something to go wrong.
But there were no arrests made, Tunaj. There was no arrests made.
But why would you arrest somebody that you are paid? That's the point. The scenario is that they paid them and they released the girls. Why would you arrest them anymore?
Well, how would you arrest them? Come on, go ahead, Ayo. Let me pass to Ayo. Go ahead, Ayo.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting what's going on. I think there's just so many different dimensions to this thing, and it's kind of impossible to pin down one sort of track and kind of suggest that that's the reason everything's happening. So, for instance, just like I think Tunaja was saying, yes, you do have corrupt military personnel in the Nigerian army. I don't think it's a leadership order to allow Boko Haram or any terrorist group sort of like do what they want, but you probably have mid-level leaders who have allegiance either ethnically or religiously to certain groups or certain governors who want to use these terrorists as leverage in one way or the other, who soft pedal, and it kind of makes it seem like the entire military is in cahoots. That's just not possible. It's clearly not what's going on. From what I gather, I think there are a lot of northern governors who use these terrorist groups to blackmail the government or use them as leverage to negotiate with the government, or use them as a way to increase their allocation or financing or funds.
Well, I was listening to some northern governors the other day. They're completely apologetic when it comes to these military.
Exactly, and the northern, and that's why Tinubu's hand, in my opinion, is so tied, because he knows. I mean, I don't think it's majority of them, but there are some very influential northern governors. In my opinion, this is just speculation, but it kind of doesn't make sense otherwise. They are using these terrorists as leverage. They have in the past, and it seems like they will continue to. I think with Trump putting pressure on the Nigerian government, the Tinubu administration can no longer just fold its arms, because they obviously know what's going on, but they're just like, I don't know if there's an agreement. Well, you keep that shit in the north, you bring it to the south, we're not going to have a choice. It almost seems like that's what the agreement is. I don't know. But with the Trump administration putting pressure on the Nigerian government, I think they're going to have to act. It just seems like these northern governors, or just northern elites in general, are a little too apologetic, too cuddly with these terrorists.
I was listening to one governor. He was like, "Oh, they don't have jobs. They don't have jobs." So I'm just like, "What? Blast them! They got to kidnap 300 children from school.
Blast them to kingdom come." I think there needs to be a sufficient deterrent by the Nigerian government. So yes, it's really a political problem, and you're not going to solve it completely with kinetics or military might, but you can use that as a deterrent, where just the average poor kid on the road in the north doesn't find it attractive when he sees, people who may have joined these terrorist groups, being blown away left and right, it just won't be as attractive to them. There needs to be some element of that. It's not going to solve the problem completely, but it needs to. That we just need to see tons of these guys blown to bits.
If Nigeria carries on like this, if Nigeria carries on like this, they will balkanize Nigeria the way they did with the ROC and maybe even Syria. Because you can't let terrorist groups keep festering and getting stronger and knowing the ways to undermine the country because the country military refuses to do what needs to be done.
But yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I think even these terrorists know that, and their commanders or their sponsors up north, who are probably part of the northern elite, they know if these guys really come to the south and they start doing that crap that they're doing up north, the country will balkanize because. I just don't see any. You don't even have to be a major ethnic group in the South to put up with it. All you just need to do is just round up, I don't know, a couple of thousand military age guys, get weapons to them somehow, and pretty much that's just how wars break out. And they know where these guys are in their forests. They know the terrain better than these terrorists do. They're not going to wait for them to just come and keep on attacking them. And that's why they'll come down to the South. They'll kidnap a couple people, run away. They'll do little things here and there, but it's not a sustained sort of like a problem like it is in the North.
I got to pass the kid over. Ayo, like last week, like there were real estate agents, like 7 of them that were kidnapped in Ogun.
Right.
Like just showing on property. It's crazy. Go ahead, Kidola. Unmute yourself, Kidola.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah, thank you, Dad. It seems like Tinubu have fallen into France's hand. I think most of you here might be very young. The Nigerian army was never been used or against any African country, right from immemorial.
Guys, okay, sorry. I just have to correct you there. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. So Tinubu was under pressure to invade Niger when there was a coup there. He didn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hold on. He could not do it because the Northerners would fight against Nigeria. The Northerners would fight against the Nigerian army in Niger.
Exactly.
That's what he could not do. He could not do it.
Exactly. So you've pretty much proven the same. You've pretty much proven your own point that he can say no if he really wants to. He can say no. But the reality is,
I think there's a big difference. The Niger one had the president.
Hold on, my brother.
Their president.
Look. That's why I say most of you might be very young. The Northerners are in the Nigeria. Majority of the Nigerian soldiers are in the north. They are Northerners. The Nigerian army. If you send Nigerian army to Niger,
Northerners is just.
Let me hear Kidola. Let me hear.
Man, this guy. I know when the Nigerian army, when France were spoiling the Francophone against Nigeria, that they should be very wary about Nigeria as a country or as a power. What he just did right now, he fall into France's hand. France is not Nigeria's friend. Going to bomb Benin Republic, you can think all it's good now, but it's actually not really good. The Francophone have always have suspicion about us. We're large in terms of population, and we kind of like have the strongest army there. But you see, you can start something. How can you finish it? You understand? That man, the so-called man there, he ain't good for nothing. It's as bad as these other African leaders also. That's why people want to take him out.
Can I interject real quick? I just want to respond.
So bro, hold on, man. You got your time, bro. Let me just finish. Abacha refused to went into anything. If Liberia didn't really need that strong help at that time, then they just have to go because he doesn't want the Americans to come over there. Then you have to prove, okay, let's do this. But it's just a coup. This is just even a civil war. They wanted to force him to Niger. I think with the Northern elite, and the Northern warned him, don't try it. Because if he would have gone to Niger, who's going to say that? The Igbos and the Yorubas. And this outside will pick them out one by one. You have to study Niger, Chad, are kind of like Sokoto, Zafara, Castina, Kano. They all kind of are related. They all have grandfathers, each of them, the same tribe.
Okay.
They warn him, don't do it. If you do it, that will be your end of being in this as president of this country.
Okay.
That's what it did go there. But with the Benin Republic or whatever there, it's close to some of this Yoruba land there. Some of this is did maybe they picked from Lagos. That's when they went to bomb those territory. I think it made a mistake. The Nigerian Senate would have approved it if it's a threat under Nigeria on Nigeria. We're going to bomb a brotherly country on their own internal rambling. That's very, very long. Nigeria have fallen into the trap of France. France have finally used Nigeria against a brotherly nation. That's just true, my brother. Let me stop you.
Okay.
All right, hey, let me pass it to Festus, then I'll pass it back to you. Go ahead, Festus. Festus, we can't hear you. Festus, we can't hear you. All right, go ahead, Dale.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you now, Festus. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna circle back to what Ayo said as to the situation in northern Nigeria and how we have elites who may be involved in the insecurity going on. There is a speech or a statement made by Abacha, and he said, if insurgency lasts more than 24 hours, the government has hand in it. So it's not unusual, or it's not surprising that with Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakurawa, and all these various terrorist groups, that there'll be people involved in high places within the Nigerian government. And I gotta be very careful so the DSS don't come find me with what I'm actually saying. But I think the situation with everything going on in Nigeria just shows you how unserious the country is. And to really add insult to the wound, the Niger situation, Nigeria under Bola Ahmed Tinubu was going to send soldiers to the north to get rid of the coup plotters. But the northern elite, who are mostly Hausa Fulanis, basically kick back against that. And being a Yoruba man, it's kind of like an insult in the sense that you couldn't send Nigerian soldiers to Niger, but you were able to send Nigerian soldiers to Benin Republic, a country that's got about 12% Yoruba people. It's kind of insulting, and Tinubu didn't even have any political foresight to be like a puppet for the French president to do his bidding in Benin Republic. It just didn't make any sense. I think this back and forth trying to reason what Nigeria is doing back and forth, it really just shows that Nigeria is it's not a serious country. We can go back and forth debate or talk or argue or whatnot. I sometimes it's unnecessary. I don't want to say Nigeria is a failing country, but it looks like it's getting close to being a failing country.
Diners, can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, and we have this problem in Nigeria where we take one problem and we try to extrapolate it over every single other problem. Niger and Benin Republic have two very different geopolitical importance to Nigeria. Very, very different. There is not one Yoruba person anywhere in Nigeria that minds or doesn't understand that what happened in Benin or Benin Republic was necessary. I suspect, Festus, you're not Yoruba, because if you were, you would be supporting this. And please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. I am Yoruba and I know this. Benin Republic is not a failing West African state. It's one of the most prosperous small countries in West Africa. You probably know this, Dynast. I know you've been there many times.
Well, like I said, Benin is probably one of the most stable
countries. Exactly. So you can't start comparing Niger Republic to Benin.
You completely misunderstood what I said, though. You completely did. First of all,
I'm just saying as a Yoruba man.
And secondly, first of all, I'm Yoruba, and secondly, you completely misunderstood what I was saying. So I wasn't speaking of Benin as being a failing country. I'm speaking of the trajectory of the Nigerian state, insecurity, has been a failing country, so you should have paid attention to what I was saying.
Okay, my apologies. My apologies. So yeah, so I don't think it's not the same thing as Niger Republic, and he did what he had to do because like I think it was to Niger I was saying those guys, those clowns, those guys who carried out the coup and they were on TV, they looked like clowns. I mean, no one would take them seriously. I mean, they didn't even seem like serious soldiers or whatnot. You can't allow those kind of people to just come hijack a government because they have the barrel of the gun and then turn the entire one of the more stable countries in West Africa into chaos. Not to even mention that it's 20 minutes from Lagos, and then before you know it,
Whoa. Okay, you mean Lagos State?
Lagos State, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. It's about 20 minutes from Lagos State, and then before you know it,
it's right there. So, okay.
And then before you know it, you have hundreds and thousands of people crossing the border trying to escape, and then it just destabilizes the whole region. Bola Tinubu had no choice. He did what had to be done. That was what any responsible leader in his situation would have done. It has happened before. We've done it in Gambia. We've stabilized Sierra Leone. We've stabilized Liberia. So I don't know where this sudden.
Can he stabilize Boko Haram? I'm sorry.
Well, Boko Haram is a little different in that it's not a conventional. It's not a conventional warfare. Just like someone mentioned earlier about what was happening in Gaza, they bombed the hell out of them. They still couldn't get rid of them. And that's within a very well-defined, fenced-off area. Not to talk about wide in the open in the deserts in different terrain. So yes, they got to bomb Boko Haram, but ultimately the solution has to be there has to be some sort of political angle to that solution. I don't know what it is they want. I feel
I disagree that the solution is political. You can't negotiate with people that want to Islamize. The solution. Let me just tell you what the solution is. You take over the territory like every self-respecting nation. That's what you do. You take over the territory so that security forces are everywhere. The reason why they attack those outskirts, they go for soft targets and they kidnap people and attack them because security forces are not there. You can't have a country where you have whole areas are not secure. The border is not secure. We barely have a border force.
Okay, well,
that's a joke. If you want your country to be functional, you have to do that. It's not a long-term problem. It's not a long. Why do we believe it's a long-term problem? The government borrowed $20 billion just the last year alone. While to do this, it takes about $7 billion.
Right. It's a long-term problem in the sense that you can't really start to worry about the border when you have a pressing, urgent issue like a coup in Niger or a coup in Benin, is what I'm saying. And besides that, we have over 5,000 kilometers of border of land on our borders between Niger, Cameroon, Benin. It's impossible to fence everything off.
You don't have to fence it off. You can defend it. You can man them.
I want to agree with Tunanja and what
Can I get in, please, as a new speaker?
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sean.
All right, thanks. Greetings to Dynas. You're back. Good to see you back. To Niger, good to see you, and other folks that I can't really see too that good. If you're someone I know from the old. To me,
somebody's phone's crackling and hold on. Shaw, I think that hold on, let me mute everybody. That might be you, Shaw. Hold on. No, Shaw, mute yourself, Shaw.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Shaw.
Okay. So to me, it's very disheartening to see the big boy in the big industry, the big country. They're gonna go and try to stop this coup, neo-colonize Benin, and they didn't do shit when Alassane Ouattara changed the constitution and did a constitutional coup. ECOWAS said nothing. The AU said nothing. Nigeria did nothing. And then we can go. There's other incidences where if we can find a situation similar to where Gabon is another one where the cousin takes over. They didn't do anything about that either, right? So here we are now. The United States has put pressure on that ass, okay, and now they're here. They're all rumbling and stumbling to try to deal with the insurgencies or the problems up north. It's a joke. It's sad and it's sick and it's in the way of Africa trying to gather itself and take it to the next, get itself together before they, once again throw us back into fucking slavery or recolonizing Africa. It's all over. It's just on the wall. It's on the writings on the wall. All this movements, that's all this shit that's going on. In the last 4 years, we've seen all these countries coming in to make deals and do all of this stuff. And now you see what's going on now. It's just sad that we're just so complicit and so I see Tinubu with Macron and it just looks bad. That's bad optics. He's such a fucking I'm just disgusted, y'all. I can't even get the words out, really, to tell you the truth. And even if this little hokey coup thing that happened, I was hoping that it would be a good coup, like the right kind of coup.
This is just ridiculous, man. I don't understand how people think coups. I don't know how old you are, or if you're even Nigerian, or if you ever lived in Nigeria during the time of.
You guys always talk about the military situation that y'all had, and if you ever lived in a military coup thing, you wouldn't want a coup.
No, it's question.
That's what y'all say all the time.
Have
I
you?
don't know. I've never lived in a coup, but I tell you what. Let me tell you what fucking France have been doing for fucking 60, 70, 80 years. And it ain't been a coup. What the United States has been doing, what Belgium has been doing, it's not a coup. It's some neo-colonized bullshit, and y'all not trying to get from under it with a Tinubu in office. And even with Shaqiri and all these other folks that did the coup, they wasn't doing shit either.
You can bring it down a notch. It's fine.
Okay, all right. So I'm sorry, I'm emotional though. But the Ajakuta thing, that steel company that they put in and got all that money from Russia, they built the damn steel company. And then didn't enact the steel company because who is in the Panama Papers, who the Bushes, the Halliburton, all of these folks and ones we don't know, told them you better not open that steel company up. That's 1978. So we're looking from 1978 all the way till today, and probably before then. You have complicity, you have oligarchs, you have these motherfuckers taking all the money, and the people in Nigeria not progressing like it should have progressed. It's sad. And then you talk about a coup. You've never lived in a coup, yet and still you got ECOWAS, where it's supposed to be building the regional economy, ain't doing shit because it's been compromised by France, no doubt, because they have their they want to keep their money in the reserves over the country's money's in their reserve and keep that CFA going. And
what is France getting from Benin? We know what they were getting from Niger, and I'm not saying they don't have. They do have interest in Benin, but
what are they getting from all their former colonies?
This guy said the right thing.
What are they getting from all their former colonies?
Benin Republic have been under France handpicked for a very long time, and this dude this old man in power is a very corrupt. Look, he was right. Ouattara came in as whatever the man is there that is not democratic. Hold on, but he changed the whole thing. You have to start. Benin Republic is not just Yoruba alone. The other tribes in Benin Republic.
You just said Ouattara.
Hold on, bro. The Yoruba in Benin Republic always have the other tribe always use all kind of side eye. I've been looking at them because they are migrant that came there through your empire. You understand? So Nigerian army, right from immemorial, will never be used against a neighboring country that have their own, if not a civil war, but maybe change of government or anything like that. During the Nigerian military regime, they have never used a military force against a neighboring country like that. You understand me? France, the problem we have today in Nigeria, who orchestrated France? You understand me? France was always against Nigeria. France kind of like pet Obasanjo at that time to give over part of Calabar or Creek, so kind of area there to Cameroon. You understand me? But this man, I don't know, because he have something in France. Look, this is not just an easy game. This is a puppet game to hide something. It's not that he was doing it under the love of this thing. So,
Can I
bro,
speak?
hold on. So what I'm trying to say is,
go ahead, Kidola. You got another minute. I got to pass the Nigerian first.
Okay. So this is not to show flares. When Donald Trump threatened Nigeria, we said, we're a sovereign country, we're a sovereign country. Now you want to bomb another sovereign country. That's going to be a problem. And you just wait for the result after some few months.
Go ahead, Nigerian first.
See, you guys sometimes talk as if you didn't go to school at all. The president duly elected in that country, he has his neighbor for help, and the president in Nigeria offered that help. You don't have to lie. Hold on. Let me land.
It's my show. But okay, I read somewhere where Tinubu said he acted on his own accordance. A quote by him.
No. The president asked for help.
Okay, go ahead.
He did. The president asked for help, and Nigeria government offered that help. So it was not like Nigeria invade Benin Republic. That's not the case. And I think it's the right thing to do. Even, for example, if something is going on in, let's say, Canada or Mexico, the United States will not just fold the sand and just watch. Let's assume, for example, Mexico decided to bring in Russia bring something to Mexico. Do you think the United States will just sit back and, okay, it's not our problem? Come on.
Why didn't they do anything in Gabon? Why didn't they do anything in Gabon or in Ivory Coast or in Guinea-Bissau recently?
Hold on, that is different. This is close to home.
Gabon's not close to home?
No, it's not.
I'm not sure it's close to home. That is the reason. But Nigeria first, don't you see that there is an element of democracy that we are practicing whereby there's barely any opposition? And maybe these military regimes are going to act as a kind of opposition against these democratic, so-called democracies that we have, where opposition is completely squashed, and then they want to manipulate the constitution to suit them, the ones that are in office. So the way I look at it right now, the Sahel nations are acting as a referendum on the democratic ones. If the democratic ones don't perform, then you will see that military regime eventually will take over the entire nations.
No, let me give you an example of what happened in Nigeria. For example, when Obasanjo wants to run for third term, politicians in Nigeria stood against it. And what happened? Obasanjo pulled back. So you are not going to blame if the opposition over there are just cowards, they decide to do what the president asked. In Nigeria,
that is true in the case of this, but you know well that there's no opposition in Nigeria right now. The politics where only one side seems to be just running the whole show, that is not democracy.
There's opposition. Just that they are currently just, I guess they are planning, but from next year you start seeing them doing their work.
Or they will run an election.
Hey, guy, let Nigerian first finish. Nigerian, you got a minute. I got past the dark.
Yes, so this whole thing is that I think people who sit in a comfortable, developed country far away, the United States, some of them in England, want to dictate how we are to do our things here. So you guys expect a ragtag military just take over, then Nigeria should just fold the sand and just watch because they don't want to offend anybody. We need to play it nice. Come on now, let's be serious.
Well, Nigerian first. A so-called. So what about the coup that happened in Niger? That's right next door to Nigeria.
Yes, because for example, that would have happened. The same thing would have happened, but because of the politics in Nigeria, the president has to listen because guess what? He's going to run for a re-election, so he has to consider that. I know if it was not that, he would have proceeded and do what he has to do.
Because
Niger,
the war on Niger would have been war on Burkina Faso and Mali. That's why. That's one of the main reasons why he didn't go in. And then also the same people in the north and the same people in Niger.
The reason northern governors in Nigeria saved the day. So this idea is because of the almighty AES. No, it was the local politics because he knew if he proceed, there will be a political repercussion. That's why.
That is
so
not
you
the
think
reason.
that,
He was
that
never
Nigeria
intended to
didn't
go.
care?
You know that.
Nigeria didn't care about going to war with also Burkina Faso and Mali. You think that Nigeria could afford to do that?
I don't think Nigeria has ever even mentioned Burkina Faso. I don't think Nigeria,
But an
Burkina
act of
Faso is
war on Niger is an
militarily.
act of war on those three countries are united, and an act of war on one is an act of war on all
Yeah,
three.
but
Let
Why?
me tell
But
you
here's the
what you
reason
guys
why.
don't understand.
Let me tell you. Let
When
me tell you.
push comes to shove, country normally focus on their interests. This
thank
idea
you.
that
Thank you.
they will stick their neck out for another country. Let's watch.
Brother,
Let's
Thank
they
you.
have
see
a unite.
when
The
the game
military
begins,
is
and we see.
integrated. They have
There's
They
That's
absolutely
have
what
no
formal
interest
that's
in
what
agreements
you
that
think.
they
Sahelian
have
nations.
formal
Yeah.
agreements that if one
That
is
is what
attacked,
you
all three
think.
of them will.
Dennis,
That
you
is
gotta control
formal
the show,
agreement under
man.
a
Pass the mic.
federation that they are in
Yeah.
now. That's not no just
But
happens.
that's
I'm
what
just
you
not
think.
saying it.
Let the game begins first. Then you see that country will protect their own interests first before
So
another
you want
person.
to gamble with the fact that the three
Thank
are
you.
not
At
going to
least
join
in
in when
Nigerian.
Nigeria
Hold
when
on,
Nigeria has already threatened to join
I gotta
the
pass.
war.
I gotta pass the mic to Darth Roman. Go ahead, Darth.
All right, all right. Okay. This is a very good topic because it's coming from a debate that I had today that I wanted to finish, and that bloody dusty lord kind of cut it off short because I was about to land my point. All right, no problem. Thing that's happening, that war in that if Nigeria took on the AES, that would have been a long and protracted war, because that has enough. Nigeria cannot even control the northern region. They cannot even deal with that, let alone have to deal with the whole entire Sahel region.
My guy,
So
the
that would,
AES doesn't have 5 planes
yeah.
between all of them.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Hold on. So Nigeria having to be engaged in that protracted war with the Sahel, it will not have worked for Nigeria. And as well, Benin is a small state that they can deal with. What I'm perceiving happening right now is there are different types of coups happening. There's military coups that's happening, which I kind of deem to be like an immune system response to what's happening. And then you have a kind of a coup that's happening by democratic coups that's happening. So that's what's happening in Africa at the moment. This is not good. It goes into the question that I was asking today in my debate today, like in my debate on Kaiser's channel, right? Which states are more likely to be more susceptible to corruption is a very deep question. Either microstates or large super states. Which ones are more likely to be susceptible to corruption? Smaller states or big states? Because if that's the case, we can see with Niger, with all these other states, the smaller states, to me, it says they are more likely to be susceptible to corruption, like Benin and all that stuff. Yes, Nigeria to a certain extent, but you can see even UFC himself is saying Nigeria, because of the many different interest groups and pressures, that the corruption is able to be mitigatable. In fact, I was even defending and saying Nigeria has a little bit more agency than many more smaller states in the region and all that kind of stuff. But this, what Tinubu did, is like, then that just tells me there's different levels of agency that Nigeria may have. They are able to do some things at certain levels, and some levels they're not able to do something. There are certain levels they are not able to break the rules from.
But you
Such
lost.
as
You
when they
lost
get
me
a call to intervene in Niger.
when Nigeria took $1 billion from Russia, $1 billion, and you know what 1 billion in 1978 would be like today? That would be like 10 billion today, maybe, probably 5 to 10 billion today would be 1 billion in 1978. This is when you lost. This is the beginning of the end, and the feeding frenzy of the oligarchs and the formulation of the oligarchs is when Nigeria was supposed to put up 400 million after the Russians spent $1 billion on a industry, on a factory that was completed 90%, and they were supposed to finish the rest of the 10%. Well, the time came, 78 all the way to 83. It was 95% finished, still nothing. The factory never went to production. Nigeria never put up its 400 million. Where'd the money go? That set a precedent right there. That that the leadership is compromised by the Western world. The Western world told them, "Don't you build? You better not build that steel factory. You
Guys,
better not." And
we
even
got
All
today,
right, guys, let me come in here, please.
today when you look at the steel
guys.
import, Nigerian import, how much they
All right,
import?
let me pass it to Elvis. Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dennis, and hello to the panel. Look, I think the mantra has to be no coups in West Africa. And in most regional bodies, you need a referee. In Nigeria, you know, by virtue of his size and his military might, has to be the referee. I wish we would have more countries that would go along with Nigeria's into these different countries to restore order. I know they kind of did that with Gambia, with Yaya Jammeh, and kind of brought some, stability to that country, and it's been doing pretty well since. But
I think what we
democracies,
have to look.
hold on, please. Democracies and elections have consequences. So if your candidate didn't win, or you have a guy in power who is not governing, you know, the best, you have to wait for the term to change him. You know, you got to wait for that. So to just assume that if something isn't going well, you got to do a coup, that's the wrong mindset. So I'm with Nigeria on this point, and I think they were right by getting in there and trying to remove this, ragtag, quote unquote, wannabe military.
Oh, we lost them. Guys, links I'm gonna put the link in the chat room if you want to call in. Click on the link again. Let me read this statement by this joint statement by the AES. Let's see here. AES accuses Nigeria of violating airspace over military aircraft emergency landing in Burkina Faso. According to the statement, the aircraft identified as a C-130 belonging to the Nigerian Air Force touched down in Bobo Dioulasso, a major city in the southwest of the country, during an in-flight emergency while transiting Burkina Bay airspace. Let me go ahead, King.
When was that?
The statement was made today. Go ahead, King. Unmute yourself, King. King. Come on, y'all. We got to get the Getros together before you call in.
Right. Good day to the platform. I just want to say one thing. I'm Nigerian. First of all, I do not support what Tinubu is doing. This is wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Hey, King, are you on a Bluetooth or something? Because you sound very muffled.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I take it out now. Can you hear me?
Talk directly into your phone.
Okay, can you hear me now?
It's a little bit better. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Tinubu is doing this is absolutely wrong. This is absolutely
King, do me a favor. Start all over. You sound good now. Go ahead. Start all over.
Okay. Thank you. I am a Nigerian. I am Benin by tribe. I was born and raised in Nigeria. What Tinubu is doing is absolutely wrong. I am not supporting it in any way. And if there's a Benin person here from Benin Republic, I want to sincerely apologize to you guys. And if there's anybody from the AES, I want to sincerely apologize to you guys on behalf of Nigerians. Any Nigerians supporting this, you people don't know what is coming.
Yeah, please.
People don't know what is coming because it's like we are betraying our brothers over what? Over what?
What are you even saying?
Let him finish. Let
me finish my point.
Please.
Let King
over
finish.
What? Let me finish my point. Over what? Because we want to bring them back to the ECOWAS. For what reason?
See,
okay, may I finish with the talk, brother? Good and fine. We went to Benin Republic to restore order. Perfectly good and fine. That is supported. Okay, good. But the same president that is sending a jet to Benin Republic, we are having insurgency in Nigeria.
It's asymmetrical. It's not the same thing.
Let's be honest with reality. Wait, let me finish my point. Now you go and you land your plane in Burkina Faso. For what reason, please? For what reason? Because now you are going to say Burkina Faso, they are holding our military men. Now we have to go and rescue. Nigerians, so people don't listen. We are going to be the most hated people on this continent. It's like we are betraying our brothers. For what reason?
Geopolitics is not a popularity contest. It's a
I don't give a shit about popularity contest or not.
It's a game of might. So
I don't know, brother. No, the game of might is the Western world. We don't trade like that in Africa. We never. Let me finish.
And where has that gotten you?
Let King finish. Let King finish. Go ahead, King.
Rhetorical questions, y'all.
I don't give a shit, brother. Keep your mouth shut and let me finish my point. Thank you.
There we go.
As I was saying before, what we are trying to do, what Tinubu is trying to do, is absolutely disgraceful. As a Nigerian, I distance myself from it. If these guys say they don't want to be part of ECOWAS, leave them alone. They are not bothering you. What is your business with them? What is your business with them? Everybody sit down today, they are condemning Russians for invading Ukraine. Is it not the same thing that we are doing now? Everybody's condemning the US for being police of the world, invading other people's country. Is it not the same thing we are doing on the African continent? What kind of life is this?
King, real quick, if I could interject real quick. You made a great point. Like, how does a Nigerian aircraft headed to Benin, the Cotonou area, end up in Burkina Faso?
Bro, I'm okay. You ask me, and wait. Let me make this even complicated for you the more. Even after the airstrike in Benin Republic, the president came out and made a statement. I want to thank my gallant boys for what they did. Then all of a sudden, we heard that these boys are home. All of a sudden, we heard that they are in Burkina Faso. This is madness. And I even think what happened in Benin Republic was a setup. This coup was a huge setup. Because those guys that came out on TV don't even look like military men. It was a huge setup just for the plane to land in Burkina Faso. So we start having problems with our neighbors. For what kind of life is that? When did we black people start to live like this?
Well, okay. Anyway.
Just
You're
like
talking
the one
about
in
military men. This is
Guinea-Bissau
what
was a
Western people
setup.
do.
That was a
Europeans
fake
fight each
coup.
other and kill each other. It's not black people.
The Ubuntu you've
My
been doing
brother,
for
they
the
were
last.
born.
The
The
Ubuntu
Burkina Faso
Africans
was
have been
born
doing for the
out.
last 100 years.
I got to pass the mic to say James, but that's a good question. How does a plane headed to, we'll say, roughly the Cotonou area from Nigeria end up in Burkina Faso? That doesn't.
Okay, can I answer that question?
No.
The Burkinabe brought him down. The Russians are there. The Burkinabe brought him down.
How does
what
the
was he doing
plane? Okay, Kidola, you gotta look at a map. How does a plane?
What was he doing in the airspace in the first place?
From Nigeria end up in Burkina Faso?
The United States.
Let me speak. Let me finish.
Hold on.
Let me just tell you the truth.
Sent some military equipment to Nigeria. I think they were supposed to go and pick it up in Ghana. It was at the U.S. base in Ghana. So that's what happened. So they went to pick up those military equipment. So that's what happened.
What you are saying now is not verified.
Yeah,
no, that's what happened. Yes, hold on.
But what is verified?
Yesterday,
the point I'm trying to make, a plane headed to Ghana from Nigeria doesn't need to go through Burkina Faso.
It doesn't need to go to Burkina Faso. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Look, see, the French will born. The French will disgrace Nigeria. Let me just tell you the truth. Burkina Faso brought that plane down, right? The Burkina Faso brought that plane down, and Tinubu can't do no shit. And guess what? Tinubu have already started this mess, right? Tinubu have started this mess.
You guys
the Niger, look,
so much.
the Nigerian army, it will secretly support some of de facto soldiers. That is just wait for few months. You will hear we have our own problem. If soldiers, bandits are almost taking over the northern part of Nigeria.
I beg, sorry, make I talk one thing here. Please, 1 second, please.
I've lost it.
Just 1 second, brother. Please, just 1 second. Just 1 second, I will mute myself.
Go ahead, King.
Okay, my major problem, brother, una be Nigerians. We are fellow Nigerians. Let us reason as human beings. If we are Africans, we truly love ourselves. We have been suffering for the longest. This is opportunity for us to raise ourselves up. Now, let me get to my point. We are crying about this banditry problem in Nigeria. Do you know what will happen again if we eventually destroy the Burkina Faso or Niger? Those insurgency problems will double.
That's where the
Everybody
problem
will
is coming
shift into
from.
our places. And even those that have grudges against us, we will have more problems.
That's where those bandits come
Nigeria
from.
can't destroy Nigeria can't destroy Burkina Faso. We don't have the power. Russians are there.
Nigeria get
they
power.
can't do nothing.
Nigeria
can't do nothing, my brother.
Nigeria is misplaced. Listen to me, brother.
Bandit.
How can you take a private jet? How can you take a jet in less than 12 hours to Benin Republic? Why we have banditry problem in Nigeria?
When you are invited by a government in power to assist,
my goodness, man. My goodness.
He was
Black man
invited
is mad.
officially.
Guys.
What did you just
All
say?
right, I got to pass the mic to say James. Go ahead, say James.
Hi, Dennis. Thanks for having me. This is a very interesting topic, and I just want to correct the record. I heard somebody say the plane was coming from Ghana, and if you understand, we have a great relationship with Ghana, and Ghana wouldn't have done that to us, in this situation right here. In fact, Dramani was in Ivory Coast this morning, so I don't think Dramani can make that kind of order for an airplane to just violate our airspace like that. We did bring the plane down, and these are Nigerian. This is a Nigerian plane. It's confirmed. It's a Nigerian plane. So we don't understand why they're there, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to play this one safe. For all my Nigerian brothers who are very skeptical about the situation, you got it right. Nigeria did go very fast into a situation they don't understand. As you know, Danis, the Benin Republic, has a great relationship with France. There is a military, the French regiment there in French. If Nigeria is to attack Benin, I can guarantee you they had to talk with the French. So there was some sort of cooperation before Nigerian troop moved to Benin. It's going to have a big repercussion in that region based on the sentiment that the Francophone have towards French. So the way Nigeria did it, I'm still trying to understand. Did they move it themselves, or did they have some of the ECOWAS member country get involved in that? If Nigeria did it by themselves, of course it's going to be a problem. So if you look at the mandate in the ECOWAS, I do understand that they can go prevent a coup, but the manner it happened, I do believe Nigeria took side. So when two brothers are fighting, you got to be careful about which side you pick. I know you want to reestablish democracy. You want the rules of law to be applied to everybody. But that situation was amongst brothers within that region, and Nigerian shouldn't have done that the way it did. So we, the AES, right? We are on our side. We already made sure any airplane that try us again, we're gonna shoot it down. We're not playing. Keep your problem over there. We're over here. You understand? You guys don't know Benin. Those people who are here being happy about what Nigeria did, you gotta go study Benin. Benin is not a safe country. They've been lying to you. The northern side of Benin is a problem. It's been a problem. They've been hiding it to their own people. That's why the military did what they did. They've been hiding it. If you listen to the military that did the coup, they explained that. You understand? We've been having problem with them. Niger closed the border with them. There is a reason for that. So all these people who are saying it's safe because they are not under attack, because there is a compromise to attack AES. That's why they don't get that kind of pressure than the AES is getting. We understand the play. The fact that Nigeria helped these people is a bigger play over there in that region. So don't be narrow-minded about Patrice Talon. Is a bigger play. I would like for you to go to bed and understand wherever French is a bigger play above all of our pay grade. So don't take this thing like, oh yeah, this is just a simple coup. Okay, if you look at the coup, right? Yeah, I watched the video yesterday. The people, the soldiers seems to be a little unprepared. But if you have senses, you should have understand if Nigeria had to move that quick, that means they were winning. That's why Nigeria has to move swiftly. You understand? So they were making ground. Patrice Talon was nowhere to be found until the Nigerian troop moved in. So somehow, some way, they were able to make something happen. That's why the Nigerian came. If they were not prepared, they could have handled the situation without Nigeria. Why Nigeria has to lend hands to make that happen?
Because Nigeria is compromised with France and its allies with these people that are enemies with its neighbors.
That jet to move, he's supposed to talk to the Senate.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, why are you going to be allying and good buddying with France, and France has been treating your people? This is the thing about Nigerians, too. They live in this island by themselves as the big gorilla and the biggest everything, yet and still wake-up call when the United States came and said, if you don't take care of the problem, we're going to come and invade your shit. That's when they, oh no, here comes the global politics. Now all the space the people are talking in Nigerians are talking about global politics now, geopolitics in Africa. Meanwhile, your neighbors, your brothers and sisters have been neo-colonized or by the French for 80 years, and you're not doing shit.
Yeah, they're sovereign countries, though. You can't. I mean,
well, what about ECOWAS? ECOWAS is designed to create the better economics for the region, and it's done nothing. It was supposed to come up with the eco, did nothing.
See, this is the reason
It's a
why
joke.
Pan-Africa. This is the reason why Pan-Africanism.
You know what? Hey, hold on.
Some of you doesn't live in reality.
Whoa.
You don't live in reality.
Shaw brought up a great point. What happened to the echo? And who shot the echo down?
No, Nigeria, they just came out now. Let me tell you something. Even that echo did not work. They came out with something. It's a new way of trading now within West Africa. It's so something PAPS or something. It's a card.
Oh,
you don't have to route your money.
They got a new digital thing that just came out
new
a couple of days ago.
New digital thing of trading in the West Africa.
That's just as of 3-4 days ago.
Bro,
and that's
let me finish my point. I do not ask you any question, brother. I'm not asking questions. I'm talking.
King,
I'm not asking questions. Thank you.
Allow others to speak, King. Allow others to speak too. You're not the only one on this panel.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I mute now. Carry on, please.
Yeah. You when you don't understand the situation of security in Africa and Nigeria, then that's why you are sounding this way. Benin is a stable country. Niger is not a stable country.
Thank you.
So in Nigeria, interfering in situation of Benin was very important because allowing those guys, there was going to be counter coup. And currently, Benin Republic is facing ISWAP and Boko Haram in the northern borders, and their military bases that have been overrun by these guys. The weapons are being taken to attack Nigeria and even Mali and Burkina Faso and the rest of other countries. So what the least thing they need is military coup now. So you need to stabilize them. Why they did that? The government, federal Nigerian government, didn't invade Niger was because one, you have to deal the economic issue, refugee as well. The northern border was open. You have to deal with the refugees. If you invade Niger, Niger is an unstable country. So automatically, their people are going to run to Nigeria.
And Nigeria had to intervene at some point. The reason there was a coup in Gabon and Guinea-Bissau, in all these countries after Niger, was because there was no interference or there was no calling by Nigeria in Niger. And everyone in West Africa, all those small countries, we can just
Sorry, I
do
want to ask a question to you guys that is talking. Are we going to talk about the coup, but we are not going to talk about the reasons for the coup?
So how far have they been faring? Some of them, how far have they been?
How do you know how far they've been faring? Leave them alone.
So how do you know they are doing bad?
Leave them alone. They are not bothering you. Are they bothering you?
How do you know they are doing bad?
Are they bothering you?
Hold on. I think we all have to admit,
guys, these countries have mechanisms to replace them.
Let me just add something. See, we all have to admit that the situation that the Nigerians were living in was destitute poverty. Burkina Faso, destitute poverty. Mali, destitute poverty.
Exactly.
For decades after decades after decades. And Nigeria, I'm sorry to say, Nigeria is enabling the impoverishment of many African countries by playing the patsy that always want to help stabilize
I don't know,
a system that doesn't
I
lead to
know people
progress.
like to say that a lot. I don't know that Nigeria is the patsy we like to think it is.
The reason why,
there's
so many evidence from 1960.
So many
the
things
Nkrumah
Nigeria
was
is
complaining
doing.
about it. The Nkrumah was complaining that the Nigerian leaders, they take their press briefing
are we
from
talking about
Whitehall.
Nkrumah in the 1950s? My guy, this is 2025.
No, the pattern remains the same. Don't you see
it's
that?
Not. And let me tell you why. Let me explain why.
Why is Niger Republic so poor?
And
what is Nigeria doing about it?
No one has ever spoken about this. Tinubu has done something that no Nigerian government ever had the guts to do. Sell oil.
This man that is speaking, how old are you?
Talking about?
How old are you? How old are you that is speaking? How old are you? Because I think you talk shallow. How old are you? I want to know how old are you before you started speaking. How old are you? No, forget that level. You see, you people will come here. Hold on.
Right.
You people will come here and start talking nonsense. You start talking Molitala Mohammed. Molitala Mohammed from. Hold on. Molitala Mohammed from. Hold on. Molitala Mohammed from.
Oil in Naira.
Stop this nonsense. Stop this. Molitala Mohammed
Stop that. You are rude.
Hold on. Molitala Mohammed, Molitala Mohammed formed ECOWAS. Molitala Mohammed formed ECOWAS with other guys.
My guy,
that
please,
ECOWAS of it will be formed by the military regime.
You like to shout, but you
Who
don't.
is this guy? Shut your mouth. Your voice irritates me. Man, you just talk anyhow. You talking about something. You're just a moron.
Here we go.
Yeah, I see. And also, all those arguing for democracy, all those arguing for democracy, if you're arguing for the Ghanaian democracy and maybe to an extent, I don't know the one in Liberia, but most of the democracies that we call democracies, they are barely democracies.
They're not democracy.
They go into office, they go and extend their term in office. Some of them even want to give themselves life. Do you see the West condemning beer? This is a guy that has been running the country for over 40 years or so.
West definitely has puppets. That guy in Cameroon,
democracy is just being used to control us.
Absolutely.
Nigeria is delivering. Fine. If it's not delivering, it has to go.
Tema, CEO, please, I want to ask a question. See, please. This is Nigeria. Look at Nigeria from Benin Republic. It's one direct flight. From Benin Republic, you have to cross Togo. You have to pass Ghana, then to go to Burkina Faso. I'm looking at the map. It doesn't make sense what's going on.
I don't see how
it
anybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest with ourselves.
Well, Mike, I don't.
We are betraying our brothers. It's not nice.
Hold on. I don't see how anybody could defend a Nigerian plane ended up in Burkina Faso trying to go to.
We
Ghana.
Don't have the budget. We don't have the budget to go and be fighting in Burkina Faso. Let me tell you one thing. The men that brought Ouattara to power in Africa are Burkina Faso soldiers.
There we go.
Not just ordinary soldiers. Nigeria can't fight Burkina Faso at this time. They cannot. Ouattara soldiers are from Burkina Bay.
Listen.
How can we fight Burkina Faso? We cannot. So when I hear this guy, the Russians will come in. They are there already. How did they bring that plane down?
The Russians
are in Niger.
They don't have any significant.
Look, France want to disgrace us. France want to disgrace us. You don't be surprised. Tinubu will be very. Tinubu is not it's a politician who don't know how to eat money. He's not a good thinker. You understand me? Abacha never tried these people at all.
So the thing
is, never went to these people at all.
I guess
these are professional soldiers. When Nigerian soldiers are even divided now, sir, you want to. We have our own big problem in the north that is coming towards the south. Bandits are everywhere. You can't travel on the highway easily without no police escort. Even with the police escort, they'll take care of you.
My guy, man,
so why this fool want to eat akamu? So when you see this like this, you leave your own country. 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 Where do you get the budget from? Which budget are you ready to run this program?
People like you is the reason why we have bandits.
Which bandits? We're corrupted everywhere.
You're not making any sense, and you just want to shout at everyone.
You guys don't allow things to be dealt with decisively. For example,
we sensitively.
Hold on. Let me.
You talk about we sensitively. We have our own problem. Solve the problem first. No nonsense.
One at a time, please.
I gotta read this super chat. Usman, thank you for the $5 holla. Pan African payment and settlement system is already approving payment systems in Africa. Festus, you need to connect your
and it was even Tinubu that spearheaded this. This is why I'm confused about this man. I don't understand him.
The reason why we have kidnapping in Nigeria is because the Nigerian government during this what is called it, the late Yaradua, he decided to give amnesty to what they call it, Niger Delta militants. That creates like incentive for young people to go out there kidnapping people for ransom. So these are the problem. When you reward, look at the coup right now, because some people were rewarded, nothing happened, then other people copy. All of them are coming up with different excuses that they are doing the coup because of this. Benin Republic basically says.
I tell you wrong. You're very wrong about
not wrong at all.
Kidnapping didn't come from the north. Kidnapping come from the south. from the Igbo
That's what
people who were
I'm
kidnapping
saying. I
themselves.
said
So
Yar'Adua was
don't
the
say
one that gave
don't say kidnapping come from the
Niger
north. It was
militant.
what
Hold on,
happened. What
Oga.
happened in
You're
the
not the
north is a
listening inside the talk.
corrupt program. We should not hide it. Yusuf was fighting against these northern elites that brought Shara law, and
No.
Obasa just
No,
side with them. They
that's
silence
not the
him.
case. It
Some
was
of
a
his men
terrorist.
become radical, and they go to the other people cash it as part of business. It's a business, and the government can't actually control it. You have a country that United States threaten you. If you cannot take care of your own country, look, they slaughtered Benue people. What have Tinubu done about the Benue case? No, just no. How can you go to Benin Republic? You say, oh
Do you
yeah,
even know what? Do you
democrat of
even
what?
know what? Do you even know what is going on there? Everyone always throw that word.
Everything. Well, solve your problem.
Do you
Leave
know
other
what's
people
going
alone.
on there? Do you know what's
We
going on
cannot
there?
even eat. We cannot even eat. You're going to fight other people. Where are you going to get the budget from? Because you have something to do with France. France will just disgrace you. No. You enter house with your pants down.
That's
let it go to Burkina Faso.
See, Nigerian first. You see, my issue with the corner, it's not like I definitely prefer the democracy, that's for sure. That's representative system of government is the best form of system if you can get it right. But if you look at what is going on in Nigeria right now, can you pinpoint one thing the so-called alliances that our leaders are having with Western government has done for the country? Can you pinpoint one thing? Most Nigerians are basically living as if the country has failed in many cases, and it's not very helpful to see it. Look at our democracy too. There's barely any opposition. All they care about is shifting parties.
Hold on, you guys keep telling yourself you are rich, but you don't know you are poor.
But so that's not the point. That's not the question I asked.
What Nigeria needs to do, Nigeria needs to create more wealth to go around.
But that's my point, though. The relationship we are having now is not helping us, and these leaders keep doubling down.
Why do you think it's not helping?
Democracy is not helping y'all
because
either.
We've been doing it since 1960, and the country is still where it is.
No,
other nations
and democracy is not helping either. Because hypothetically, if you had a free and fair election, past election I watched, it was a farce, right? But let's say hypothetically it was everything was fair, everything was above board, and fully just good, just a good election. And Nigeria continues to have good elections, but is in the condition that it's in. It means democracy is not working if Nigeria continues to stay like it is. And all these other places where they got democracies, Senegal, for example, good democracy. Benin supposed to be a stable country. Look at the condition look at the situation in Benin. Look at the situation
there's
even in
nothing like good
Senegal.
democracy. Democracy is corruption. Case closed. Democracy is corruption. There's nothing like good democracy. Africa does not need democracy.
Bro, the only democracy is in Ghana. The only democracy in West Africa is in Ghana, whereby the judicial system, the court system, even the court system is still working. Nigeria have no opposition. They all destroyed everything. The court system in Nigeria is being hijacked by some people. The same also was going on in Benin Republic. In Benin Republic, the court system is being hijacked by this man for a very long time. Even the man that he brought to replace him, even arrest him. Like what Ouattara did. Ouattara brought a man and he deleted him at the same time. You understand me? So what you see now is
the guy was going to leave office in April next year.
What you see now is that a democracy, people came under the ballot, fake ballot, they become like a military dictator in the way to extend their power. Why that will not work in Nigeria? Because they're all greedy to take power. But in terms of the notorious corruption that finished Nigeria, if the money they are taken away from Nigeria, right? It's because the Nigerian citizens cannot vote because they're sleeping. Look at Nepal. What happened in Nepal? You understand? Look at what happened in some other places. But the Nigerian youth, they all drug up. They can't do nothing. They are watching BP Niger.
Brother, are you not a Nigerian? Are you not a Nigerian? Stop putting fingers at others and look at yourself, my friend. Are you not a Nigerian?
After that, they'll call their brothers in overseas. Please give me money. Give me money.
Are you not a Nigerian?
You know what I mean? So they can't do no shit.
Are you
this politician in Nigeria,
and how much
shitting on
Burkina Faso
shitting on their head. You know,
right.
These Nigerians, these leaders in Nigeria, they are very scared also. You know, because they know one day anything that goes up will surely come down. you know, that they will go after them. What you see now, everything's on bubble. Bandits, and they're not really bandits. These are jihadists that are coming as bandits, taking over most villages in everywhere. Even Yoruba land. Bandits are everywhere. They are bush there. You understand
That's
me?
why
Yoruba
he
land.
deployed those
It takes
jets so quickly because he's
So
scared
my brother,
that
nobody is free. All this one that is
revolution's gonna
speaking here,
spread to
all this one
Nigeria.
they're speaking here, I think they all just lying to themselves. They try to pretend. And that, you see, Nigerian people are very good at pretending. Until the time
Yeah,
and the
most
bet in their
most
neck,
committed in Nigeria have loaded. Most crime in Nigeria are committed by local from those states.
Do you see what we're talking about,
Don't make
Sean?
crime
until the bet in their neck are getting tighty,
Do you all see what we're talking
they
about?
started shouting. You
And the
understand me?
Western world is
What life are
making
you
their
living in
moves.
Nigeria? You know, they pretend a lot why they die slowly.
What have you done
understand me?
yourself? What have
The
you done?
Western
What have you
world
done?
is making their
Nothing
moves.
good.
China's
Nothing good to
making
talk
its
about
moves.
Nigeria.
And we're
Nothing good to
arguing
talk about
about
Nigeria.
Other people
Really?
Nothing good to talk about. That. Stop pretending
Listen to what
yourself
we're
there
arguing
and
about.
face the reality. Talk about they create
The
more
reality
wealth.
is the United
Which
States is
wealth are you
about to
creating?
crank up
Which wealth
the
are you
new
creating in Nigeria?
colonization.
They wait for government. They
Which
come
wealth?
to you now.
Why don't you go and create the wealth? Let's see it. Why don't you go and create the wealth? Let's see it. You say
You have
create
the
wealth, create
solution.
wealth. Which
Why
wealth?
not providing
Which
solution? You
wealth?
are there. Why not providing
Which
solution for the
wealth? Come and create the wealth in Nigeria. You know, you see,
Why not
they can
providing
pretend.
solution?
I just listen to these guys. They all pretend that. Pretending anyhow.
So what's the solution, bro? What's the solution?
You can't even eat bread and butter. You keep pretending.
What's the solution? Give us the solution. Give us solution. Give us the solution.
What solution? What solution do you? The solution
If you
is
don't know the
what?
solution, you shut up. Allow
The
us to
solution.
speak. You
Look,
come
Hey,
here.
the solution.
I gotta pass the mic. Let me read the super chat. I already read that. No, there was a new super chat. MD2V4, thank you for the £5. These Democratic leaders are part of the House of Orleans Freemasonry Order. They are brotherhood headquartered in France. All right, Wall Street Willie, go ahead.
Peace to the panel. Yeah, I heard about what happened in the news, and I was just catching up, and I wanted to hear it from the people who know the continent a bit better than me. So I'll probably just have some questions later on.
Okay.
Solutions.
Like I said, if you want solutions, can I give solutions, please? Look at what Nigeria have done now. Oh my God, I love this country. If my country is at war today, I am telling you, not all these people talking on TikTok. I am ready to carry arm and die for my country. I love Nigeria. Nigeria is my destiny. In my next life is my wish.
No, you are not ready.
Brother, let me finish my point. I'm not they talk to you. I'm not they address you. Leave me alone, please.
I
don't give a shit about what you have to say. Let me finish my point.
You will not do so.
I don't care about what you have to say, man. I don't care. Are you going to tell me what to do? Like I said before, I love my country. Die. I have a tattoo of Nigeria on me. In my next life is my wish. I beg God for it every day to come back as a Nigerian. Despite all our flaws. God, shut up your mouth.
Nigerian friends, why are you interrupting him? It's not right now. Don't do that now. Why are you being so rude to people? Let him speak now.
Let him
Hold on. Let tonight. You got 1 minute. I'm gonna pass it to Bang. Hey, Willie, I dropped you off because you just like came on. It was just like, hey, if I ask some questions, I don't know. Go ahead, Bang. Go ahead, 2 Nigel. Then I'm gonna pass it to Bang.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying that Nigerian friends should allow the guy to speak. Somebody was speaking, we just kept interrupting him.
Thank you, my brother. Like I said before.
Go ahead, Bang. Unmute yourself, Bang.
All right.
Bang. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Sorry. How's everybody? I got a different angle of this topic, right? With the whole bumming of Benin, right? So Tinubu is a Yoruba president, right? Because I've heard a lot of Nigerians always complain about Nigerian issue, especially the ones that are on social media, constantly the ones that speak English, constantly blaming the Fulanese about Nigerian issues and this and that, right? So if you are so-called Pan-Africanists, right? You care about Africa and then you support AES, right? And then you want changes in a way because you're tired of how these corrupt leaders in Africa, you know, like they're not really doing nothing in Africa. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? So then if the president is a Yoruba man, and then he launches a military attack in another country within less than 10 hours or whatever, 6 hours, and then, you know, blah, 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 and, you know, stuff like that. But look at Nigeria, bandits running everywhere, unalive people, kidnapped, doing everything. But then he chose not to solve that problem. But then as soon as a problem occurs in another man's countries, he launched, you know, a military over there. So please, you know, these Nigerians that are constantly on social media blaming the Fulanese for their problem, when you are a Pan-Africanist, if you do speaking about it, mention that Tinubu is a Yoruba man. So a Yoruba man is the one causing the disaster. A Yoruba man is the one approving these things. I'm not talking about the other Nigerians. I'm talking about people that consider themselves Pan-Africanists that support AES. If you support Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, so when you do talk about it,
what does that even mean? What does supporting AES mean? What does that mean?
No. Make sure when you do mention the president, make sure that you mention that he's a Yoruba man. So a Yoruba man is the one that betrayed whatever those men that was trying to do.
Bang. Are you Fula?
Yes, sir.
Oh Lord.
Yes, sir.
I'm like, you're not making any sense, bro. I mean,
no. I mean,
just like the brother said, he supports Nigeria.
He
like the brother said, he supports Nigeria. He would fight for Nigeria. Is how he supports the AES.
Okay. But the thing is, Nigeria didn't attack AES, so why is that a topic? I don't understand. He didn't attack Niger, did he? He attacked his fellow Yoruba people in Benin. So why are you crying?
Listen. If another country with the state of Nigeria, the crimes that are happening in Nigeria right now, the unaliving that's going on currently in Nigeria, for Tinubu not to take action the way he should.
Shouldn't you? You're Fula, you're Nigerian and you're Fula, so you're from the north. Don't you think your governors have more of a responsibility?
Hold on, sir.
Answer that question, please, Bang.
You're missing it. If you're not fixing your problem in your own country, what gives you the right to attack another country then?
The country is not complaining. The Benin is...
No. What you mean the country is not complaining?
They're not. They asked for him.
I'm talking to Pan-Africanists. I'm not talking to you because I know for sure you support
but the president made a broadcast yesterday thanking the people that helped him.
I don't understand this.
I don't understand what you are talking about.
The Yoruba people in Benin and the Yoruba people in Nigeria are not complaining. The Benin people are not complaining. The government of Benin asked for assistance, and he assisted them. Why are you crying?
If your country, the way Nigeria is going right now, with the kidnapping, with the unaliving, Nigeria first.
So why? So who's your governor first? Who's your governor? Who's your governor?
I think. Hold on. If I get a Bang, you're Sierra Leone, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I thought he was.
No. I'm speaking about Nigerians that take Nigeria issue and go to social media and constantly bashing the Fulanese of a Nigerian problem.
They're a problem, bro. They're a problem.
No. Your president is Yoruba. Your president is the one attacking another nation.
He's not the one. He's not the one
who Hold on, Bang. Are you trying to deflect from the problems in the north by focusing on what happened?
Exactly.
Come on, Bang.
No. You see that problem is different. That problem is different because let me tell y'all something, right? Because at the end of the day, Nigerian issue, you got to spend more time and really study Nigerian issue. You can't just look at Nigeria and think you know exactly what's going on. You got to dig in and then investigate.
Right. It sounds like you need
and
to
take
study
more time in Nigeria for you to know what's really going on in Nigeria. Yesterday, like 2 days ago, right? Some bandit unalive a Fulani man and stole his cattle, right? So then the neighbors then called the police, right? Or the soldiers. The soldiers then chased these guys, right? They caught one of them. When they caught one of them, they took the guy to the police station. The head of the police within that station released the guy.
Yeah.
Released the guy, right?
Yeah.
So
That's not true. Where did come on now? Come on.
That is true. That is
That's
true.
not true, man. That's just fake
Oh
news.
my God.
They released the guy. Where did that happen?
No, they did. They did. He's right. He's right. He's right.
When was that?
It happened
He's right. He's right. He's right.
VDM said it, man.
What?
What are you trying to say?
Why would they do
Coming up here
so?
and trying to make up stuff, man.
Nigerian
then,
first. He
at the end
did.
of the day, right?
He's correct. It did happen, and I'm
Why
glad
did the
they.
police
I'm
release
glad
them?
they
I'm
released the
right?
guy.
I'm talking to Pan-Africanists. I'm talking to Pan-Africanists, right?
I don't know what
That's why
that
they
means.
released
Man.
the guy. No. I
Guys,
think that shouldn't happen.
Remember,
I don't think that's the. At least they should have charged him to court and allowed the court to
No, it's good. It's good that they
when you
released
say
him.
Tinubu,
Do
right?
you know how many?
Make
Do you know
sure
how many
say
criminals
he's a
Buhari
Yoruba man.
released when he was
Tinubu
president?
is a Yoruba man.
No. I
Yoruba
think
man
that's wrong. I
attacked
think
another country because of what?
because we are not
France
tough
told him
on
to do that.
crime is the
Because
reason why
France
there's
told him to
crime
do
in
that.
the country, because the government is not tough on crime.
See, listen.
Your problems are
Brother,
going to
you see the
increase
problem why they get
once
with
these
you.
Europeans
Do you
can no
know that
longer
bandits
take
have
your
more respect to?
resources. When you
Bandits
stop
have
giving those
TikTok accounts.
resources up
One at a time,
freely,
guys,
you're gonna have a
please.
lot. Okay, when you
Bandits have
stop,
TikTok
hold on.
accounts. Bandits have TikTok accounts.
You
Bandits
guys
do go
are
live.
getting away from the point and
Bandits
way
share their
too mean.
location. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Bandits have TikTok accounts.
We're getting into
Yoruba man,
some
Yoruba man with the
inner.
direction of France on the left, a number of people in their own country.
My guy,
So
no one is complaining
let's
about
think
that.
about
You're
that.
Fulani. Why
No,
do you
no,
care?
No. I'm not talking to
What
you,
do you
my
mean?
brother.
No
I'm
one's
not talking to you.
complaining about that.
Who is complaining
That's
about
not
that?
we're complaining.
Bring
I'm
on-
complaining about that.
Where are you from? Are you from Benin? Are you Yoruba? Are you from
Yeah,
Benin
I
tribe?
am Yoruba. Yes, I am.
Okay. You
So
I doubt it. And
no,
no one is
don't doubt it
complaining.
because I am. My ancestors come from there. Right
Okay,
there, you go.
right.
So now the point. Now back to the point. The
No,
point
if
is
they ask
this.
you to say
The
one
point.
word in
Wait.
Yoruba now, you won't be able to say
Exactly.
it.
He's
So
not. No, the
relax.
thing is, this whole they don't understand nuance. They think everything you can just blanket one
Sir,
situation
we
with
are
every
in
other
a
thing.
situation where we need to see the big picture, what somebody mentioned before. And the more that we get into the inner stuff that's, kind of exacerbated by the bigger picture, we lose the bigger picture. But the bigger picture is showing up more and more. And now when I'm going into talking into places where people are Nigerian, they begin to see the bigger picture because the United States says, we're going to come in and just come into your country and do what the fuck we
United
want to
States matter
do.
not concern us.
And
The
when
main thing
now
what I'm
they
talking
begin
is
to understand.
Nigeria can go to Benin Republic,
Hold
but
on.
it
Let me give
doesn't
me a
make
minute.
sense
Give
to
me
go to
1
Burkina
minute.
Faso. It makes no
Give me
sense.
1 minute,
This is
please.
the sort of
May I
ignorance
have 1
that
minute,
makes it
please? May I have 1
impossible
minute?
to
May I
engage
have
with
1
people
minute,
like
please?
Shah. He
May I have
just
1 minute?
rants and rants
May
and
I
rants.
may I have 1
1
minute?
minute he's Yoruba,
Less
next
than
minute he's
less
American.
than a
He's going to
minute. Give me less
he's
than a
going to come and
minute.
invade, bro.
Right.
Just
Give me less than a minute. The bigger picture is that the world is coming into Africa and taking Africa. And if we don't get our shit together, meaning we come together and unite, not be allied
you
with
literally 2 seconds ago, you
not
literally two
allied with
seconds ago
France,
said you were
not
going to
allied
come and
with
invade.
France,
So
not
and now you want to switch
sir, you
back to
can't
being
give me
Nigerian or
40
being
seconds.
Pan-African.
That wasn't even
You
40
sound really
seconds.
confused.
But you
That
see
wasn't even
how,
40 seconds.
but you see how
Hold on,
Yoruba
hold
are
on,
coming
hold on.
here and
So the
defending
bigger picture is
defending
this.
Tinubu. You see how
Hold
Yoruba
on,
are coming
hold
up
on,
here
hold
and
on, hold
defending
on.
Tinubu, right? But these are the
Hold
same
on.
Yorubas on social media with the Igbos. Oh, the Fulanis are the ones destroying our countries.
Bro,
The Fulanis
Fulanis are a problem,
There you
man.
go
Well, allow
again.
him to
There you
finish.
go again.
He's speaking.
No,
Allow
There you
him to
go
he's a
finish.
goddamn Yoruba.
There you go
Allow
again.
this guy. Allow Cher to finish, please.
Let me give me 40. I couldn't even get 40 fucking seconds. Excuse my
Shaw,
language.
land your plane, please. Go ahead.
Right. So I know you want me to end because this is some shit you don't want to
No,
hear.
you're not
And
really saying
that's
anything,
very
but land your
interesting.
plane, please.
Right. So what I'm saying again is all of this unrest is happening. All of this new shit is coming up. We got Cameroon, the Paul Biya trying to hold on. We got this fake coup in Gabon, the fake coup in Guinea-Bissau. We got Togo making deals with Russia, and they're innocent. All of this stuff is happening because the people, the changing of the guards is happening, but the Western world is trying to hold it down. They're
Everything is
trying
pointing to France. It's all France. It's all
Okay,
France. That's
all right.
always
I'm
been
gonna
France.
shut the fuck up. Since I
At
just
some
wind it
point,
down.
Africans have got to
Right.
stop blaming the West
So
for everything.
Can I
if you
add
don't,
something?
if you don't come together, and this is the last point I'm saying, if you do not come, Africans, if you do not come together,
You're gonna come and invade
you
us. We got
continue
it.
to do what
We heard you loud and clear.
Tinubu is doing, if you continue to do
You're
that,
gonna come and invade us. He
then
said it loud and clear. We got you, bro.
Then the United States is going to do what it's doing in the Congo. They're not
bringing peace in the Congo. They're bringing Amazon. They're bringing Bezos and Musk into fucking Congo to set up big companies, and they're going to continue. Africa's going to continue to be poor and poverty stricken and
This
fucked
is what
up.
If you don't stop talking about Fulani, this and that.
I gotta pass the mic, y'all. I gotta pass the mic.
Darnus, can I add something?
Go ahead, say James.
All right. For those who believe Nigeria troops moved into Benin at the request of the president of Benin, you guys are just like I don't know what to say, right? Wherever the French has their interest, ain't no third country can move into that country without their blessing. You understand that? So that means Nigeria carried the flag of France into Benin. You understand? They did two jobs at once. I want you to understand that. If you guys don't understand it, I would love for you to go learn something before you start. Oh, no, bro, darkness. We can't do this.
Go ahead. Let's say James finish. Go ahead, say James.
If you remember, darkness, when they were getting ready to attack Niger, we got the videos, right? There were more than 300 French military positioned in Ivory Coast, getting ready to follow the troops, ECOWAS troops to Niger. The French said it. It is there on YouTube. You can watch it. So you guys don't understand certain things when it comes to Francophone Africa. You got to learn something. It's not Anglophone. Maybe you know about your side. Our side is very complex. You understand? So like what someone was already saying, if they fall the coup, what did a plane from wherever it come from violated our airspace? Doesn't make sense. They try to test us to see how we're going to react. We reacted, and I hope it stopped. If it doesn't stop, something's going to happen. I hope not it doesn't happen, but I'm just letting you know we are ready for whatever. You understand?
I'm
making it clear. And
Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
All right, go ahead. Say James. Go ahead, say James.
Thank you, man. Adonis, I'm going to bet some of the people on the panel, right? Let's bet about next year, 2026. We will see if ECOWAS will be able to add a new member, and just watch out for AES and see who's going to add new members. I can guarantee you, I can break the news to you right now. Togo is at the door. Your neighbor in Nigeria, Chad, already made that request. So we have 2 countries in line already. What do you have?
Nobody cares.
Tinubu destroyed. Tinubu destroyed.
You can align with whoever you want.
Tinubu destroyed what Muritala Mohammed formed. Tinubu destroyed what Muritala Mohammed formed. He destroyed totally.
Man, they're destroying Nigeria.
You know what I mean? They destroyed it.
You try to destroy Nigeria and have individuals destroying it.
It kind of
No,
makes
no,
sense
no,
for
no, no,
Chad
no.
to join
No, no,
AES
no, no, no.
anyway. They're all Sahelian people. They're kind of different.
Tinubu destroyed
It kind of makes
what
sense.
Tinubu destroyed what Molita Mohammed formed.
Tinubu did the right thing. Tinubu did the right thing by intervening to stop explosion. We cannot allow that to happen.
Which explosion?
For security
Which
reasons.
explosion?
Yes.
Which explosion is coming to you that you went to stop? Which explosion?
You
What is the
you
population of
wouldn't
Benin
know because
Republic?
you are not acquainted that
Are you not?
Benin
Are you not
Republic
the one
is
running
being
to?
attacked
Are
by
you
these
not
guys
the?
from Northern.
Are you not the one running to Benin
You don't
Republic?
know.
Not
You
be you
don't
the
know
run to
that
Benin Republic.
Benin is being attacked. You don't know because
Are you not the one running to
you don't
Benin
read.
Republic?
You don't
Are
know
you
that
not the
this
one running
one
to Benin Republic?
is
Are you
supposed to
not the one
overrun
running
their
to Benin
military
Republic?
bases. You
Are you
don't
not the
know.
one going
He
to the
was
Benin Republic
invited
to
on
look
Why are
for
you
official
generals?
capacity to bomb the
like
shit out
here?
of those guys, and he did the thing and get out of there. Simple.
Okay,
He will
simple.
stay there.
When
No,
will
he
he
not. He
fix
will stay
Nigerian
there.
problem then? When will he
He
fix
did it
Nigerian
and he
problem
got
then?
out. Simple. He was
No,
invited
Did he
on
get
When
out?
will he
Did he
fix
get
Nigerian
out?
problem then?
They will
He
chase
got
him out
out.
of.
Yeah.
They will chase him out of that
Tinubu,
place.
the Yoruba man
The
is the
people,
one
the president
underlying
of Benin
innocent people.
Republic is
A lot
thankful.
of
The people are
trade,
thankful for
a lot of
Nigeria.
trade coming, a lot of trade
I don't
coming to
understand
Nigeria
why you guys are crying.
comes through Benin Republic. A lot of our trade comes through Benin Republic.
You don't
There's
know.
just absolutely no way he could wait until they close that border. Some
What do you mean? There's
ragtag
absolutely.
coupists
Which
close the
trade?
border and start to.
Which trade is coming from there? Which trade? Tell me the
You
trade.
don't know for you don't know for
Tell me the trade.
Tinubu.
No, I want to know the trade. Which trade?
Please,
which trade?
Import. If you don't know, import. If you don't know
Which
it
trade?
now.
Which
We are using
trade?
their
Tell me
seaport.
which trade.
We are using their seaport to
talking
clear
about
a
trade
lot
by
of
seaport, at
stop.
the seaport.
You don't know.
Which
How will you know
seaport
when
is
he's
that?
there?
Listen,
I
James,
beg
let me
you,
ask you a
no.
question.
You don't know people use Benin
Listen, James.
Republic to ship things to Nigeria. Come on now.
No, he doesn't. How will
Which
you know?
which trade?
How do you
Nigeria,
know?
Nigeria, one of the biggest ports
I know
in
that for a
West
fact.
Africa.
No,
Which
if
trade
I
is
can,
coming from there?
hold on. If I can interject real quick.
40%,
I'm talking.
40% of Nigerian shipment comes through Benin Republic.
The host is talking. He's correct. A lot of, especially vehicles, cars are shipped to Benin Republic and brought into Nigeria. He's right about that.
No, they smuggle it because they smuggle it. Those cars that are coming from Benin Republic is smuggled to Nigeria.
You know, we talk sometimes. Those things,
Nigeria
the
have
majority of Nigerian goods that come from Benin Republic, they are not
This
taxed.
guy wouldn't know. He doesn't read. So how will he know? He doesn't read.
Talk with that point.
He doesn't read. That's why he doesn't read.
Dennis,
my guy,
can I ask St. James a question?
Go ahead.
Man, St. James.
I'm here listening. What's popping?
Yeah, St. James. That those terrorists, right? That in Burkina Faso and Mali, right? The 5 leaders. How many of them are Fulanis? And then the other one, what tribe are they?
This guy.
I'm not sure I would like to answer that right now. I'm being honest. Let's not do this. Let's not. I understand what you're trying to do. I don't want to do like it's a direct how you call it? Where I come from, we just don't want to talk about the tribes of these people because the international community is going to use that against that. So we don't want to, it's complicated. So let's keep it at that.
There's 5 leaders, right? One of them are Fulani. The other 4 are Bambara. But nobody have ever mentioned those guys. Nobody. Everybody on social media.
Oh, guy, you always want to talk about tribe. Fulani bandits are disturbing Nigeria. Case closed. That is reality, man. You can cry to the river. We don't give a shit. Fulani bandit is disturbing Nigeria. That is the reality, my guy. You can cry from today to tomorrow. It doesn't change the facts, man.
From another country, but you telling me he can't fix bandits? What are you talking about? He doesn't care about you. You got it.
Look, it's not only Fulani. It's not only Fulani that is disturbing Nigeria. The level of corruption is the one so big part of Nigeria. Not only Fulani. Fulani is a small, tiny thing under Nigeria problem. Somebody will just carry billions, and run away with it. Look at NNPC. NNPC pick a lot of money. So about the corruption. Anyway, there's corruption, there's chaos.
What are you talking
All
about?
tribes have their own bandits. So
Ben, let's do this, right?
Dennis, let me round up Dennis. Let me just tell you the truth. You see, Before, I used to behave like, oh man, Nigeria is all great. We pretend all this is a lot.
No,
A
nobody's saying
lot,
things
a
like
lot,
that.
a
We
lot.
have
You
problems,
see,
but we're still better
and
than
that pretending have been with
Sahelian
us for
countries.
years, right? Without, oh, no. The level of corruption in Nigeria, right? If any other country face the level of corruption in Nigeria,
My guy,
that country
just
will collapse.
stay on
You
topic,
understand me?
man. We're not talking
That
about
country will
corruption here.
collapse. That country will collapse.
Stay on topic.
Tinubu don't even have the budget because they all stole the money.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. Burkina Faso detains 11 Nigerian military officers, seizes Air Force aircraft for crossing into
They
country.
should, yes, they should explain what they're going to do there. So what you see now,
Those guys
you
were
understand?
probably
What you see now, right? What you see now, you leave your own country that have a very huge problem. That you want to say, because you're looking for optics. The corruption level,
See, this is the thing. Why do you even assume you know what they were doing there? They're likely special ops. They're likely special ops on mission that you would have never known.
stealing money is different for battle war. Stealing money is different for battle war. I think see Ukraine is so corrupt that their soldiers are even falling apart. You're stealing money. To steal money, thief. The last say thief. Steal money, stop money.
This guy cannot stay on topic.
It's not different from it's different from fighting a war. This Tinubu government will too understand carrying Bordeaux somewhere, go and hide somewhere in France is different from when France will put him under the bus. They want to use him to destroy Nigeria. And he will fall into it because the French
today we're talking about military intervention. We're not talking about corruption.
Because it's all tied together.
Why are you guys talking when he's talking?
It's all tied together. It's all tied together. Tinubu have something in France. And the French the French hold his boss under his spine. They tighten the boss. You do it. Go to Benin Republic. Go and bomb there. You do it. If you don't do it, you will lose your billions.
No one wants to come out and say the real issue we're having on this panel today is there's so much ethnic undertones that people can't even. People's perspectives are so different, and no one can really. We all experiencing the same problem, but from different angles and different perspectives. The hate for Tinubu on something that is pretty standard, that has happened before under many other leaders, is kind of crazy to me, and it just shows that people either they just cannot be objective, or the ethnic hatred.
No, it's because of the time. What's going on at the time?
Don't you think that? Don't you think that? During the previous era, let me just add the shot. Don't you think? Hold on. Don't you think that the reason why people are reacting differently now is because previously they were under the impression that if we embrace democracy, because that's what Africans were told, if we embrace democracy, we are going to experience prosperity. But what they've seen is further impoverishment. And if anything, they are poorer now than they were during that time. So that is why they are reacting differently now. And I'm beginning to see that too, because I'm in Nigeria. Hold on. I know about the case of Nigeria, and I know that there's barely any opposition in that country. So if there's no opposition, technically it's already an overthrow. That's happened.
You just said something. Do you think we were living better during Abacha administration?
Exactly.
100%. 100%.
No. People could not
100%.
We they use sawdust to cook. People were using sawdust to cook.
There was no power supply. There was more power supply under Abacha.
There was more power supply than now. Are you kidding me?
Yes, actually. Wow. Versus our population, the population has increased significantly, but the power generation has not. Don't you know that?
You buy a newspaper, you get it. You buy a newspaper, you get a job.
So
you buy a newspaper, you get a job. You buy a newspaper, you get a job for those newspapers. Abacha was far more better than what you see now. Everybody will earn salary. My father, my mother will get it on the 24th of. On the 24th of end of the month, will get salary.
Listen,
with the
there's no perfect, there's no perfect system of government, but I guarantee you,
we want to hear what you have to say.
Abacha is the best.
Ola, can I ask you a question?
Our GDP per capita is 1,000 something naira. There's no perfect system of government, but this is abysmal. You can't, after 60 years of independence, and you're living like this, you're here saying there's no perfect system of government. We are governing ourselves into extermination here. There are consequences to this.
It's not a blanket. So Nigeria
There are
has
consequences of
developed
governing your country like this.
Nigeria has
Eventually, we're going to
developed
pay for it.
Nigeria has developed very unevenly. I think you would agree to that.
What
Some
do
parts
you
of
mean
Nigeria,
evenly?
some parts of Nigeria are way more developed than when Abacha was in power. And some parts are probably the same or less developed. It has developed unevenly.
You have to use comparative development versus the rest of the
Usually
world.
happens in the oligarch societies.
You have to see what is going on with the rest of the world. The rest of the world is leaving us behind further and further. When Abacha was there, at least we were closer.
Nigeria was ahead of Singapore and Korea back in the 70s. Nigeria was ahead of many countries back in the 70s and has not. Go ahead, you talk. Go ahead.
You said we were doing better during Abacha's administration. Come on now, Nigeria.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
No, we are not.
You know,
we are
at
not
least,
doing any
at least
better.
now people are poor, people are angry, and you can voice it. You couldn't with Abacha.
Who told you that you
I
couldn't
don't know how
voice
old
it
you
with
are.
Abacha?
Yeah, you couldn't. For example,
I was in Nigeria at that time. Who told you we went out protesting? Yes, people get killed, and this time they put the governor from office, didn't they? What are you talking about?
Hold on. Kudirat was killed. Ken Saro-Wiwa was killed. A lot of people were murdered.
Okay,
So
what happened with Fubara? What happened with Fubara? Was Fubara already
all of the changing
let's not try to wishy-washy it. Fubara, a governor, was removed from office.
No, it was
Election
not
was rigged.
removed.
Hold on. He was suspended from office, whatever you want to call it. He wasn't governor anymore for that period of time. So
where's the oil money? With all these different presidents, where's the oil money? That's all I gotta ask. Where's the oil money? Where's the money? Where's the oil? You have all these presidents come in and out, yet still the money is not to be accounted for.
You are defending the independent. He's not a democratic system.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
About terrorists, Tinubu has it.
This is already overthrown democracy. And
all the oil that's been taken out of the ground in Nigeria, with all the presidents coming in and out, there should be much more money that the state has. There should be more infrastructure. It should be more. Where is it? It doesn't matter. You can tell me about how you couldn't talk, you couldn't do this, and the infrastructure is fucked up.
You are not an honest person. You know
Tinubu
very
has
well.
Tinubu has it.
Hold on.
You're not dealing with the reality. You talk about presidents coming in and out.
You are not. You know,
and Nigeria has not progressed.
You know your region. You know your state.
It has not progressed like it should have. It's way behind.
You are not.
It was in the same place where Korea was. Look at Korea now and look at Nigeria now.
So
look at Korea now and look at Nigeria now.
That would have happened.
Nigeria is backward. Nigeria is backward. Nigeria is backward, brother. Very backward people.
They talk about presidents and this and that, and then they're not talking about. They let the refineries go to disrepair, and now all of a sudden they can get a refinery up and going. All of a sudden, because Dangote done got the big refinery, now all of a sudden the NNPC or whoever
a budget, so that call for impeachment. You don't know.
Refineries typically are private; they're not owned by governments.
It doesn't. I don't care if it's private or part private, part public. The refineries went to dust, and now they all of a sudden they got one that's about ready to kick off.
Can I say one thing here?
I think Sir James is right.
Guys. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. I just want to quickly chip on one thing before I go to bed, please. For me, Nigerians that are here, I know we Nigerians will have one thing about our country. I don't know about this guy that has a Benetton. We have one thing about ourselves. We have pride. We love our country. We hate foreigners. We hate outsiders talking about our country a certain way. Even when I hear American accent talking about my country a certain way, I feel a certain way. It pisses me off. But because of too many wrong things our leaders have done, I can't say nothing. If this was
my brother.
Brother,
thank you. You cannot defend nonsense.
Wait.
I love Nigeria too.
Let me finish my point, brother. I don't give a shit about you. You are not a Nigerian. Your accent chases you out of already.
I love Nigeria though.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. As for me, if you go on TikTok, I am Mr. Nigeria. I die for my country. I do it every day with joy. When I hate foreigners talking about my country a certain way.
Well, you got to deal with that, bro.
I hate foreigners.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I hate foreigners talking about my country.
Everybody is entitled to talk about any country.
Can I finish my point?
What are you doing to make Nigeria better?
Dude, I don't give a shit about you. I don't know you, man. I don't give a shit about you. I don't
care
know
if
you.
you know me or not. The person who's hosting this space is African American, and I'm African motherfucking American. Okay.
Leave me alone. Thank you, bro. Leave me alone. Let me finish my point. Leave me alone.
What you doing to make it better?
Leave me
Let
alone.
him finish, please. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Thank you.
You're talking about let somebody finish and you interrupt every motherfucking body? Are you kidding me?
Leave me alone. I'm not talking to you.
No, I'm talking to the other dude.
I am talking about my country. I'm not
about let
addressing
him
you.
finish.
Please, can you leave me alone?
Want to jump in on everybody talking.
Your president?
Leave me alone.
The Yoruba
King, finish your point.
Leave me alone. Let me finish my point. I'm not bothering you. I'm not bothering you.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your point, bro.
Then leave me alone.
No one is touching you, man. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Baba. As I was saying before, the issue is this. For me, it's very, very painful for me when I see other people talking about my country. It drives me nuts. If this was on a normal day that Tinubu didn't do anything wrong, I will go with you to the mud. I will abuse your whole generation. That is my modus operandi. But for the fact that our leaders have done so many wrong things, that is why you can have anybody, both people from the street, people that don't even have homes, open their mouth and talk about Nigeria. I can't blame them because our leaders messed up. If not for our leaders, who are you to address a Nigerian? They're not born you rich now.
All right.
But I can't praise Nigeria. If Nigeria was Burkina Faso, we'd be praising Nigeria.
I will only say one thing, bro. I'm not asking your opinion. I don't care about you.
I know you don't, but sir, you're in an African American hosting this room,
talking about my Nigerian people. I don't care about you.
If you don't like that, then you
I don't care about you. I'm just being honest. I don't care about you.
King,
I'm being
this
honest.
is pointless, man. Is that your point?
I'm a Pan-Africanist, brother.
Okay, we got it.
You know what Pan-Africanism is?
No problem. I know
we get to criticize and critique you can critique us, we can critique you. That's what Pan-Africans do.
Every country is subjected to
it's with
criticism.
love, though. We do it with love. It's constructive.
That is why
we do it with love.
That is why I said I can't say anything because the errors are too much.
Yeah.
The errors are too much. It is too much. It is too much.
Which ones?
The errors from the side of bro. I'm not talking. Why you ask me question? Are you my father? My guy, mute yourself.
Yes.
Brother,
like I said before,
you are in a public space. You can be questioned from what you said. You can be questioned. Don't come here and love it over everyone.
Like I said before,
you are not a narcissist, so you can be questioned.
This question, now, brother. You be like, you don't know.
If you don't answer, you're not answer this question. You are in a public space. If you don't want to be asked questions, then you shut up.
If I don't answer, you not do me anything. I'm not answering any question.
You don't answer. You don't say the insulting people in the name of your talking.
As I was saying before, before I was rudely interrupted by miscreants. Now, let me finish my point.
You are a bandit.
Let him finish.
Are you going to let me finish my point?
Go ahead, King. Finish your point.
Thank you. As I was saying before I was interrupted by some bunch of bandits online. Now,
you are the bandit here. You started every other person.
Let him speak now. Let this guy speak so that he can go. Let him speak.
Imagine. Okay, like I said before, the errors are too much. That is why it's very difficult for people to ignore. Nigeria was a country that was built to raise Africa to the heavens.
Wow.
I don't know what happened with our leaders. I can't fathom it.
Okay, you're going in circles now, man.
No, brother, I know they talk to you now. Why are you bothering me?
Who are you talking to specifically then? Because we're all here.
I'm not talking to you. Can I speak? Can I state my point? Would you leave me alone?
Speak fast so that can speak. You are not going to wait for you all day. Speak fast so we can speak.
Land so that other people can speak.
No problem. My own is I am not in support of the federal government going to anybody's country. Going to fight on behalf of France, I totally reject it. I don't support it. That is my point.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
We've heard
good night,
also,
everybody.
you saying Tinubu.
Dude, shut up. I don't want to talk to you, man. Get out.
President is the one doing this. Oh my God, Yorubas, man. Oh my God, I never knew, man. You guys are backstabbers like this. Sneaky people, man. At least the Igbos, man. They come out and say exactly what they are.
This guy is just trolling. I think he's some troll.
No. I'm not a troll. I am serious, man. Okay.
Nobody cares.
Anybody here from the
Let me
southeast
tell you one thing about Yoruba people. We don't care. You can say what you want. It's not going to. It doesn't bother us.
No. Your
You know,
president,
keep on
Yoruba
cursing Yoruba
president
people all you
attacked
want. We
another
don't care.
country on the behalf of Emmanuel Macron, on the behalf of another country, on behalf of a white country as well. That's exactly what he did. Tinubu, the Yoruba terrorist.
It's a lie. It's not true. It's not true.
It's
I'm
true.
not Yoruba, but
Tinubu, the
it's not
Yoruba
true.
terrorist.
He did the right thing.
Just like
He
Sonny
did the
Obo.
right thing.
Just like
We
Sonny
cannot
Obo.
allow. We
Just
cannot
like
allow these
Sonny
guys to
Obo.
have an unstable
Just
Benin.
like
We
Sonny
cannot allow
Obo.
that to have
Just like Sonny Obo.
a unstable one. He
Just
did the
like
right
Sonny
thing.
Obo,
But
the
He did
terrorist.
the right
the
thing.
northern
Just like
He
part
did
of Benin,
the right thing. It's
like
a
the
Sonny
northern
Obo,
patriotic
the
part
duty to
of
terrorist.
Benin
defend.
is
Just like Sonny
unstable.
Obo, the terrorist. Tinubu,
You don't know
the terrorist
Northern
Yoruba.
Benin is not stable. You don't know.
Tinubu, the
You don't know a
Yoruba
lot of their
terrorist.
military bases have been
Tinubu, the
overrun by
Yoruba
ISWAP.
terrorist.
You don't know that?
Tinubu, the Yoruba
I
terrorist.
just said that. I
Tinubu,
said
the
that the
Yoruba
northern part
terrorist.
of Benin is unstable.
Yeah. Okay, good. At
Right.
least.
So what is
Bang is a
Nigeria doing
troll.
about
He's
that?
just here
The
trolling. He's
reason why
probably
Nigeria hasn't done anything about that is because it's in the benefit of France, because they're backing, and like along with the United States, the
when
insurgents in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and
That's
Boko
the
Haram. No
that's
one's
a
talking
great
about that.
that's
We're
a
when
not
that's a
talking
great
about that.
Nigeria is the
that's a
Blah
great
blah
point.
blah blah blah. You didn't even get it out.
That's a great point. So you don't follow the coup. Just move to the north and handle your business. I would like to see that happen. I don't want you to turn around and go back to Nigeria. Stay within that country and help them fight the terrorists because you
We
guys
are
have
fighting our own
demonstrated. No,
cause.
Because
no,
they are the
no,
We
terrorists.
are
no,
They,
no,
fighting.
they
no, no,
support the terrorists.
no, no, no,
No,
no, no, no,
we are
no,
fighting.
no, no, no,
See,
no, no, no,
let me tell you
no, no,
why he
no,
did
you,
it.
no, 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 no. You gotta stay in that
With
country.
that
You know
coup,
what? You know what's gonna happen?
the Benin
Well,
Republic
I
are
tried
not
to
be busy
explain.
fighting
No, no,
each
no. I
other
tried to
while the
explain something
terrorists are
to.
on rampage.
No, I tried to explain something to you. You did not listen. You guys think you done something that's very major. It's gonna keep happening. The guy's not safe. You understand? It's not safe. So you guys are gonna go back to Nigeria and turn back and come back to Benin again. You understand? It's not gonna remain that way. So you guys haven't succeeded to anything.
all
You
right. It's
understand?
safe
Till
now,
then,
though.
till
It's
then,
safe
for now
now.
we succeed. For
Yeah.
now we
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah, it's not a success.
Till then,
I'm watching TV right now. You know how many people got killed? Do you have the
till
numbers?
then,
Do you have
till
the
then,
numbers? Do you have
those
the
guys are
numbers
out.
on both
Those guys
sides?
are out.
On both sides. Do you know how many people got
Hey,
killed?
guys,
St.
we're
James.
gonna go ahead and close out. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family.
Tinubu, the
Madison,
Yoruba
Search for Huru.
terrorist.
Peace.
Tinubu, the Yoruba terrorist.
Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.